Guess we'll see.
Oh, we're live? Mm-hmm. Welcome to TOPT. My name is Larry.
Lawrence. Seb.
And Lionel. And this is Top Podcast where we talk One Piece and anime. Woo! What up, y'all?
I want to see you getting better at that, but I feel like you didn't do that cleanly.
I'm still doing much worse.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still doing much worse. It hasn't progressed any better these past couple episodes. Sorry. But what up, y'all? How y'all doing? Lionel is going to be here. He's just not here right now. For today's agenda, we are going to be speaking on the latest SBS.
Okay.
I'm going to try to have Lionel read it and then ask us what we think about it when he gets here as like a little punishment for being late. But if he can't do it, then we'll probably just have Sebastian do it. After the SBS, we are going to try to do an anime episode review, the latest one, most likely, because I think that's when Bonnie turned into Nika for the first time.
Yeah?
No, not white Nika, but she does like the Nika arm.
Okay.
Against the CP agent, Alpha. So that's going to be dope. And I'll let Marv know when to do it. I forgot to tell Marv that, actually. My bad, Marv. After that, it's One Piece break week. So we're going to just do super chats and then we're going to do phone calls. So I'd really like to hit phone calls because I feel like we haven't had phone calls in a minute.
Yeah.
So I'd really, really, really like to do that. But other than that, if you haven't liked the video yet, please like the video. If you haven't subscribed or hit the notification bell on YouTube yet, please do that. Everybody that's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, thank you so much. I hope you're enjoying your car ride or whatever you're doing at work. We appreciate you being here. But other than that, yeah, Seb, let's do it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in chat. I see Antonio Freeman, Nicholas D. Caesar, Caleb Beltron, Zoro D. Joyboy, Jamie, Caleb, Ravenstorm, Jerk Chicken, Regen, Irit, Rico, Lundy, Nyombolo, Kaizo Kid, Deku Mighty, JT, Eddie Bonilla, Tor, Mr. Aura, J Mills, Sunny Weather, Nate Dynasty Maps, Sweet Meat, Rhett Pressler, Jalen Schmox, Oscar, Big B Stay Low, GFTD, Element, Beats by DJ, Derek Peters, Special K, Dad D. Kyos. Just so many of y'all in here, man. Hit that like button. It does help with the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah.
Well, we do have a couple super chats sitting, so we'll get to those right away. I see 6 months at Warlord status from Wise Life Jody. It says, Happy Monday, gang. Was Whitebeard following Rox a sign that Rox wasn't totally evil, or did he simply lose in a fight to him? Hashtag Blunt Kingdom Citizen. Hashtag BBC. Go either way with it, honestly. He could not be totally evil and still have beaten Whitebeard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It could be both things. It could be one or the other. It could be that they never technically fought. I mean, it's early. So,
we saw in the manga and the anime. Yeah, he was. It's just I want to find out their relationship because it is a weird one. Because Whitebeard openly says, when they're going to God Valley, when Rock's pirates go, and Whitebeard's like, hold on, who made you my captain? Mm-hmm. But it's like, but you've been following on his ship for years.
Being told to shut up.
So it's like, but at the end of the day, it shows that Whitebeard didn't fully recognize Rox as his captain, even though he was on his ship. So it could be simply like kind of like a similar aspect of what Blackbeard said to Aokiji.
Yeah.
Aligned interests that moved Whitebeard to team up with Rox.
But I also thought of, it's true, but for Whitebeard to be under someone as well, he has to respect.
Yeah.
Shows like he held, regardless of what that he an alliance or they had agreement or whatever, that he still had some measure of respect for Rocks. That he put him like, even he said I'm you're not my captain or whatever he said, but he still recognized it's Rocks' name that they're under. It's his flag. It's his ship.
Mm-hmm.
So that he does have a measure of respect for Rocks, that he's willing to alliance or respect to a point that he in a way is his captain. And it's not a buggy thing where now we have the Rocks clearly, I mean, as buggy as like, you're the head show of it, but we're the real strong guys. That's not the case at all. We've seen it evidence throughout the guy Valley, and with Roger, and we see it with Loki. So like that's clearly not a thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I gotta say.
Well, they can still, how do I say this? Crosscut can still emulate the Rocks pirates, even if it's not the buggy correlation. Like if the world government or media or whatever was like, well, Rocks is the head, and they made Rocks the head in the media, and it's the Rocks pirates because we're calling it that, like the way they call Buggy and Emperor. Obviously, that's a gag, whatever. But if Whitebeard never signed up to say, yo, this is my straight up captain, I'm below him, and we're coalescing in this criminal organization similar to how Crossguild did, but Rocks got the shine, is getting the shine because he's the strongest, he's the probably oldest member, he's the biggest guy there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I could see all those things coming into play, you know what I mean? I just don't, it's early to say. You know
I get you, the only thing is, for how long though? Because for instance, if you're going back to the Rocks time, right? Rocks and White have been together since Loki was a kid. Loki's talking about Rocks passing when Loki's a grown man at this point. Like, again, Giant She is 45, so they've been together for years. Mm-hmm. Since Loki was a kid, think of it. Loki's a kid, so maybe like you think of what's Gabon's son's name again?
Colin?
Colin type age. To we see him seeing his father, and he's still talking about the Rocks. Like he got upset with his father, so siding with the world government who took out Rocks. Showing that, and that's again Whitebeard. We didn't see him. We don't know who else was with Rocks during that time. We know Big Mom. We don't know. We just know Whitebeard was there. So that means they knew each other for a long time and been together for a long time.
But they also don't do the math or thinking it's till that time that Loki said it. Because Loki's obviously speaking in a past tense.
Yeah.
Well, so he said past tense in terms of these are the people that took down Rocks.
Yes.
So you got to timeline it from the time Loki got stabbed up to the fall of the Rocks pirates. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's the time frame that
exactly.
he's speaking to. I don't know how much time lasts for that.
Because we don't even know how I'm just going to gauge it from Loki's age as a kid. We don't know if Whitebeard and Rocks been together before Loki.
True.
Like before even Loki was born. We don't know. We don't know their history. But just know that the earliest we know is Loki's a kid and they're together. That's what I'm saying. That's the age or earliest we could cap it at. But it could be more. But that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I side with Lionel too. And it's the main factor is always going to be conquerors following another conqueror. And that's at the end of the day what it is. So even if you wanted to label it as such as cross-skilled, it could never be that. It just can't. Because if it was, then that would mean that Mihawk is under the Buggy Pirates. And it's been argued like crazy that he's not. And plus, there's so many factors, right? Buggy's just not a conqueror overall. So when you put in that aspect, as we've seen in the show, conquerors only follow other conquerors, whether it be out of obedience or submission, or just, in relations to saying, hey, me and you, our dreams sort of align, but you're going to be above mine. Like, overall. That's what we've seen with Zoro. We've seen it with Rayleigh. We've seen it with even Katakuri. We've seen it with many other people, right? Ace, a conqueror, but wanted to make another conqueror the Pirate King, right? There's been so many instances of just conquerors wanting other conquerors to be ruled, but to be ruling over them. But they'll never truly let them rule over them. It's always like an agreement to go, hey, we're going this far.
See, that's where Lionel cut it, though. Lionel said, and Lawrence said, there has to be a modicum of respect there, right? Mm-hmm. You're saying he would never join in that way, when there are examples of people willing to join in various ways. They're pirates. They do different things for different reasons. Mm-hmm. Like Crossguild is an example of that. The Blackbeard Pirates are an example of that. Granted, we don't know if there are any conquerors involved in those instances, but if Rocks is this amazing, great person that he seemingly is, he could be great enough to have that kind of cachet, where even I can get conquerors to join me in this kind of space.
No, it doesn't fit.
It could though.
It doesn't.
Bro, Larry, and this is the weird thing. You were the one arguing that Mihawk was following Buggy, and they are the Buggy pirates.
Yeah.
And now you're saying it can't be that.
Well, it's because I've always been under the assumption that Mihawk has not been confirmed as a conqueror,
Okay.
and he doesn't exude conqueror-like things about him.
Okay.
There's many instances where I've said like Mihawk just probably isn't a conqueror. He's just probably really, really good as a specific hockey.
And I'm fine with that. What I'm saying is when you bracket it into this space, you're saying so-and-so can't do such because they're a conqueror. You're saying so-and-so would never allow themselves to do this because they're a conqueror.
Yeah.
And to me, there's been so many examples of conquerors doing things that you might not agree with in that same space.
Okay.
Doflamingo's willingness to basically be under Kaido. Mihawk, potentially, we don't know if he's a conqueror or not. With this whole, let Buggy be the head of the show.
Yeah.
There's other examples of potential conquerors, whatever. Basically, anybody who's ever been a Marine, it's just, there's too many examples for me to be like, yo, it has to be this way or it's not possible.
Yeah. So we have Doflamingo being under Kaido, two conquerors.
Not technically under Kaido, but you know what I'm saying?
he's abiding by Kaido's wishes, right? That's a conqueror helping out another conqueror, right? Then you have Garp and Sengoku, who is literally to the world government itself, where the Gorosei are conquerors. Do they know that? Most likely not, but does Sengoku probably know that? He could probably sense it, right? Because conquerors know when there's other conquerors around. They just don't like it. The same way Whitebeard did to Odin. So every instance of that is just a conqueror and then another conqueror. So when you look at the Buggy Pirates, Buggy's not a conqueror. Therefore, anybody else that's under him would not serve him that's also a conqueror, in my opinion.
But Mihawk would break that if he is one,
But that's
he might be.
that's high speculation at this point, right? And then you also have the Blackbeard Pirates, where Aokiji's not a conqueror. Neither anybody on the Blackbeard Pirates are not conquerors. Yet Blackbeard is also not a conqueror, right? As we know of. So that would also break the form of if a conqueror and another conqueror are not following each other or somehow not helping each other, then they're not going to be like they're not going to be like the Cross Guild, and they're not going to be like the Blackbeard Pirates.
I feel you in this, but to me, what we've seen from them, how they interacted, how they talk about the Rocks Pirates, the way Sengoku spoke on them, those people are very much closer to a Blackbeard and Cross Guild relationship than they are to any of the normal pirate crews where dudes are, I'm dying for my captain here. It's just true. You can try to deny that as much as you want. You can try to fit people into the boxes you want. The Rocks Pirates, the way that organization has been presented to us to this point, are closer to those criminal organizations than they are to a standard pirate crew. That is a fact. I believe Lawrence and Lionel will agree with me on that fact.
I just don't believe it because of what conquerors mean to the show.
Okay, but
If a conqueror exudes all these things throughout the story in evidence, then it just supports the fact that Rox and crew might have not gotten along, but Rox was definitely the guy that nobody could beat. Because every conqueror tries to fight another conqueror, and it always happens. Even when we seen like Shanks and Whitebeard, or like Kaido and Shanks, or just like any of the Yonkos. Like even when Big Mom pulled up to Kaido, it's just always on sight. Odin with Whitebeard, Ace versus Whitebeard. You know, I even give it to probably like Odin and Rayleigh, or even like Roger and Rayleigh. They must have fought. Zoro and Luffy fought. There's always times where conquerors have fought each other. So there's no way that anybody on Rox's crew didn't try to fight Rox.
I didn't say that.
No, I'm just pointing out conquerors aspects where no matter what, they had to challenge him. And the fact is, when he was challenged, nobody took over the Rox Pirates except Rox. He literally was stated by Loki, who's also a conqueror at this point, who wanted to follow him. So it just points out that any type of crew that may be set up a certain way will never be set up like a conqueror's crew. Ever. It will never happen. This is why they were never the Buggy Pirates or the Cross Guild. This is why they're not the Blackbeard Pirates. Because it's been proven that Rox will literally jump on an island by himself filled with other conquerors, and he wouldn't give a hell about the rest of his crew joining because he probably had that much confidence and that much strength. And if Kaido himself said, yo, like if all the aspects of Big Mom, Whitebeard, and Kaido were taken from the Rocks crew, and they built their own crews. Kaido's crew specifically states what the Rocks crew might have been like, where, you know, strength rules all.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way that the Rocks crew could have been any different than what we actually had to believe that they actually were. They just didn't get along. And that's what happens with conquerors. They don't get along if their dreams don't align.
Well,
Even in the movie, right, with Bullet and Roger, what did Roger do? He beat Bullet down when Bullet tried to talk to him crazy. He was just like, yo, you're going to have to just sit with this, bro. And if not, get the fuck off my shit.
Bastion. And Larry has a point, because even this, in the beginning, what did Zoro say to Luffy? If his dream interfered with his dream, he's going to take out Luffy. Exactly. It only came circumstantial. That, again, shows like what it takes, that type of conqueror, like one of the great ones. Only one of the great ones could do what Luffy could do. Could get, like, Zoro's going to put another conqueror, you need to put his dream aside for his captain. That's why they're great. That's the definition. No conquerors, you have to be a conqueror to do that. No other person, like a buggy person, is not doing that.
No.
Like,
Blackbeard not doing that either.
Yeah.
And this is what I try to tell you, like, being a conqueror is very different from being like a regular person. You're unfortunately put into a box when you're a conqueror. You're very predictable when you're a conqueror. It's not complicated. Like, it's not at all.
Rock's about to complicate it a lot.
All right, you'll see it.
I will say though, just for the buggy aspect, their situation is also a little different, right? Because it is not necessarily that the Marines singled out Buggy, because why would they put Buggy over, like, reputation wise? There's no way Buggy stands out more than Mihawk, or even Crocodile for that matter. So why is Buggy the one that got top billing? It's all because, right, they already made a business decision, right? And Buggy's a loyal crew who are blinded by Buggy's false claim to greatness made a poster and put Buggy in the headlight. And the Marines ran with it. And then remember, now it's that Shanks effect. We're seeing now, we saw Ray, we're seeing Gabon, and then you see Shanks. You're seeing these remnants of the Roger pirates and how strong they are. And then they found out, Buggy used to be one of them, a Roger pirate. And then you see these greats like Ray, Gabon, and Shanks, right? And then you saw how Shanks and Buggy were getting along, like, the two crewmates. So this hyped about Buggy, anyway, and then now you see, he's that whole Roger remnant that he even got, because of the crewmate put Buggy at top billing, that he even got Mihawk and Crocodile underneath them. But remember, that's all a facade, right? And that's why the Marines ran with Buggy. But it wasn't the Marines that put Buggy as the captain. It was literally Buggy's own men that put him on this alliance.
Exactly.
Mostly this business transaction, not even alliance. This business thing for the Cross Guild to make money, Buggy in the pot spot.
And that goes against everything that the Rocks pirates exuded. They hated their captain.
But they also said, yo, who called you my captain? Like, you act as though they out here like, yo, Rocks is our captain, so-and-so. That when we see it live, that's not how they interact.
It doesn't matter what they think or say. If you can't permanently take me out of this position, and we know that conquerors fight other conquerors all the time, and they do not get along, then you therefore had to submit to my will because you weren't strong enough. That's it. You don't have to like me. Doflamingo didn't like Kaido.
Doflamingo didn't submit to Kaido in the way that Chowder, you're saying. He wasn't a beast pirate. He was his own pirate captain.
No, but he did listen to Kaido.
They were business partners, if we want to be real. Like, he was scared of messing up the business deal, but they were business partners.
That's cool. But again, was he above Kaido in any stance? No. And that's the thing. Would he have challenged Kaido straight up? Yes, most likely, because he's a conqueror, but he would have lost.
He'd have lost, sure.
Okay, everybody in that Rocks crew knew they would have lost to Rocks.
But
that's what the story has said about conquerors.
Hold on.
All right, so you want to talk about people saying, hold on. So you want to talk about people saying, yo, you're not my captain? All right, so why Whitebeard didn't speak after, Rocks told him to shut up?
Because it's not that serious.
But we talking about
people
Larry,
saying things.
Up. Yeah, we would fight.
I'll tell you to shut up 7 times, bro. Like, what are you talking about? It's not that deep.
It is that deep because if
It's
you're
just not.
okay, so then what you're saying,
It's just not that
so then
deep.
what you're saying is not deep either. So if somebody
No.
goes, "Yo, you're not my captain,"
I'm saying
it's not
that's
that deep.
I'm saying,
right?
I'm
but
saying,
if somebody tells you
no.
to shut up, one, there's disrespect. behind
I'm
it.
saying, what I'm saying is,
it's the same logic.
if we're friends, we're in a group together doing some stuff.
They weren't
And you-
friends. They
Wait.
weren't friends.
What do you?
They weren't friends. They didn't like
Hold,
each other. They
we
fought
don't
all
know.
the
We don't
time.
know that Rocks and Whitebeard weren't friends or didn't like each other. They didn't see each other, but we don't know that.
They
we don't know
literally
enough.
stated that
No,
in the Rocks crew, they were always fighting
they
amongst
said there
each
was
other.
infighting amongst each other. They didn't say Whitebeard and Rocks were constantly fighting each other and they weren't friends and they had beef. They didn't say any of that.
Yeah.
We know that Rocks and Whitebeard were close enough to be on a crew together, and that Whitebeard didn't like when people said, "Yo, that's your captain." In some way,
Yeah.
he didn't agree to that element of it.
Okay.
We have another instance of him interacting with another conqueror and referring to that conqueror as his brother in Odin, even if he was weaker than him.
Yeah.
He could have been like, "Yo, that's my brother," but you're not about to be like, "Oh, I'm the captain," to me, when I don't see you as my superior.
Okay, so why
they
wasn't
may have fought,
why wasn't it called the Whitebeard Pirates?
bro. Things happen, like
What things?
bruh.
This is what I be talking about. You don't understand what conquerors
No,
are.
bro, you don't understand how Oda writes.
It's a,
He has a history that repeats itself all the time.
and we've just seen what conquerors are throughout
Bro.
the story every single time.
Bro.
Every single time.
Bro, again,
Even-
until I see Whitebeard actually bend the knee in the way the Challer's saying to Rocks, like that, this isn't what the case is. They said, "Yo, who said you was my captain?" He said that. That's Whitebeard's own words. Why would he lie? Why would he lie about how he actually feels in this moment?
Why would he
If
allow-
he was actually, "Yo, I'm bending the knee to Rocks. He's my captain, like I'm Zoro or Odin to Roger or Whitebeard." That's not the relationship that they had.
Yeah.
Y'all want to fit him into this box. That's not what happened.
No, but if the crew doesn't get along overall, then one person has to be at the top. And that person is going to be whoever another person
And,
can't
and what
beat.
I'm saying is,
Even if there's trust.
in some way,
Even if there's trust.
in the world's view, that person was Rocks. And possibly in most of the pirate people there's view, that person was Rocks.
So you believe that everybody
Whitebeard's
just
view,
put
hold
Rocks
on.
at the forefront like Buggy?
But yes, it could be both things, but he could have earned it. That's the difference.
And that's the difference is
That's the difference.
That's not how conquerors work.
No, the difference would be the world can interpret.
I wish you would just read what conquerors are through
Bro,
Wikipedia.
I'm
'Cause, like,
reading. Listen, I don't use
there's
the
been
Wikipedia, Larry. I use the actual mega panels to determine my takes, bro.
I understand that, but
Like,
I would
using them.
suggest reading the Conquerors
Bro.
Wikipedia. That way you could see throughout every instance when Conquerors existed,
it's
you would
awesome,
notice
bro.
which Conquerors are who and what they do and how they behave.
Bro.
This has always been a determining factor of a crew.
Yo, and I'm telling you,
Oh
Oda interjects different dynamics to every crew.
Mm-hmm.
Every single crew. There's a different dynamic for everybody. No crew
Yeah.
is a one-to-one comparison to another crew. You can take elements from one crew and other crews and other storylines and other thematic narration, whatever, into building a crew.
Yeah.
Dynamic. And I'm telling you that we saw the Rocks Pirates live action.
Yeah.
We heard what we heard about them. And when Whitebeard was questioned and Rocks went and did something, Whitebeard's reaction was, "Yo, who told you to say you was my captain? Who said you could do that?"
Yeah.
That was his reaction. It wasn't,
And,
man.
And you see what Rocks did? He did what he wanted.
kept doing what he wanted to do.
Yeah, he did what he wanted to do anyway. Who does that sound
Cool.
like? Who does that sound like?
a conqueror.
No, it
Cool.
sounds like Luffy.
Cool. But you're acting
Who
as,
again
but
is
you're-
the
Larry.
captain of his own ship by right.
bro.
Because if Zoro fought him and tried to fight him, yes, there is a matter of respect between both of them, but it's still called the Straw Hat Pirates. When I fight the big bads of the story, I am fighting the final bosses, you're fighting the second strongest people.
That's all fine. That is all fine. That is all absolutely fine. What we don't have is Whitebeard going, "Yo, Rocks is straight up my captain." That we don't have that.
So we've seen
And until we get that, you can't just say, "Yo, he's bent the knee to this man" in the way that you're presenting. That's just not how it is.
Damn, yo. So when I seen Rocks tell Whitebeard to shut up, when I seen Rocks tell
Yo, Larry,
Big
shut
Mom,
up, bro.
Don't talk to me like that.
That's,
bro.
you get what I'm saying?
Nah, don't do that.
Nah, because
Don't do that.
it's not that serious.
It is that serious.
It's
if you tell me
not.
to shut up, like I just got serious.
Oh my God, bro. That means you can
You know what I'm saying?
You can let minuscule words impact how you feel about
Yes,
something.
because that's what a conqueror is.
Larry.
I keep telling you that's what conquerors do in One Piece.
Ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous because
Ridiculous.
you don't know what a conqueror is. You just don't. And like many times throughout the literally Rox has literally told Big Mom to go and get Kaido.
Okay.
Again, a form of captaincy
so let me ask you
on the ship of the Rocks.
Let me ask you this. You don't think that Ben could tell Shanks to shut up? You don't think Zoro can tell Luffy to shut up?
The thing is
hold on.
So
why not? No, because those are the
a
conquerors that you believe have forced other potential conquerors to bend the knee.
Yeah.
You don't think Rayleigh could tell Roger to shut up? You don't think Gabon could tell Roger to shut up? They can do that.
So,
those are conquerors.
Again, what you're missing is the fact that these people that you're mentioning have a deep, deep respect for their captain because their ships are ran differently, right? Where Rox's ship isn't necessarily built on that type of respect, but it's built on the strength of Rox himself. If Rox wasn't as strong as he was, which he's going to be, right? Then these guys would never listen to him. As we know, there's only one other crew that has had more conquerors under the belt of the captain, and that happens to be the world government. Nobody else. The only person that came close was Roger, and Odin just happened to come onto his ship, right? So the Rox pirates rule by strength. Rox ruled by strength. If you had anything going on about you and you tried to take over, I was taking you out. And that was it. And that's the reason why they didn't like each other. Because their dreams didn't align like most of the other conquerors we've seen in the show.
That's all very possible. We don't have enough data on the crew to speak to almost any of that. We don't.
We have enough context.
Bro.
We have enough evidence through other conquerors. There's literally 20 of them that we have in the manga. And they all have a similarity amongst each other. All of them. The only two people you can't say have that is Boa Hancock, right? And you don't have it with Don Chinjao. Those are the only two people that are conquerors that we're just like, we don't know what's going on with them. But everybody else follows along.
We're going to have to agree to disagree, man.
Yeah, once you understand what a conqueror is, we'll understand, bro.
All right. We'll see.
I do want to add something, though. I will say, though, even though we've seen a little bit because he listened other times, but the whole challenging, right, that statement there when Rock said, let's go Rock's Pirates, and then Whitebeard saying, like, who made you my captain? To me, shows right there that Whitebeard has a problem with Rock's ordering him around. And that's kind of what captains do. You tell your crew what to do. If he's saying, let's go, Roger, pirates. So he's claiming, you guys are my pirates, and we're doing this. And then someone in opposition says, who named you my captain? You're not my captain, right? That's kind of going against an order, right? Like, you can't order me around. But then it's weird because then you also have the situation where Whitebeard went to Kaido for Rox. Like, yo, Rox is calling you. Like, wants to, no, not calling you. Rox wants to meet you, right? So it's like, the dynamic is interesting, you know. Why fight against that order to let's go? You can't bust around. But then maybe it wasn't an order.
But this is why I alluded to them being friends and why I tried to compare it to me and Larry's relationship. If Larry asked me to do a favor for him, sure. If Larry starts ordering me around, that's a problem. It's different. It's not the same. Rox, yo, can you go get Kaido? All right, cool. You my mans. Why not? Kaido here. I'm gonna be in the area. Sure. They walking around. You tell them to shut up. All right, whatever, bro. Like, chill out. You tripping. Stabbing kids. Like, you wilding. Yo, go do this thing right now. On me. My pirates, my crew, my underlings. Hey, man. We didn't agree to all that. We didn't say that was not part of the agreement. You my mans, but watch out now. I'm just saying, bro. It's different. But again, we can agree to disagree. I need more. You know me. I'm about context. I need to see more. From what I've seen, their dynamic is not a straight up meritocracy. It's not a straight up we believe in this captain dynamic either. So if I'm comparing it to something of the modern era, it's closer to a amalgamation of what I see from Cross Guild and the Blackbeard Pirates. Now, those don't have conquerors, so I can speak to that. Cool. You're right about that to this point. There's no conquerors in those crews. But that could speak to how great Rox is. That he can make those crews work even as they have conquerors on there. But we gotta move on. It's been 30 minutes.
That wouldn't fit the story. That literally wouldn't be what the story has led up to. At all.
I will say, I don't think it's for all of them, though. It could be, I don't know if it's just Whitebeard, because that statement, when someone says, not you too, Whitebeard, but it was after Whitebeard said the Rox thing. So it shows that some people in the crew recognized him as the captain, as their captain, and some didn't. Because that number says, not you too, showing more than Whitebeard. It was like, would fight against that order. Like, yo, we're not your pirates, you know? But then you had someone like saying, like that girl, not you too, saying that some of us recognize
we also have Big Mom calling him a scoundrel or whatever. Like there's a lot. It's a lot going on there. That's all I'm saying.
But that's what Larry's talking about. Zoro legit called Luffy an idiot. Like the Luffy's like first, if you go by some of the stories saying how Luffy was to when he told him to Ace, saying that how much Ace was better person than Luffy was. Like, good, and again, I know there's love what they expect Luffy, but they had bad and negative things to say to Luffy.
But they would all still straight up call him their captain.
Yeah. Now, again, Whitebeard's a different type of conqueror. Like, first again, but that's what we're saying, the fact of how great Rox is, that you couldn't see Whitebeard under anybody. You couldn't.
I know.
That's the thing.
I'm not trying to knock Rox's greatness. I just don't think it's what y'all are saying is happening here.
To me, it's like, I feel like Whitebeard was loyal to Rox to a degree. But I do agree that he wasn't, that he's not going to call him captain. But the fact is you're still willing to be with this person.
Hold on.
But that's the point.
But this is why I entered the Odin dynamic, that we've seen Whitebeard can have respect for somebody and be on a crew with them. We've seen it with Odin. He's called him his brother. He was his underling in that light, but he looked at him as an equal in that space. You're my brother. He could have had a similar dynamic with Rox. I don't know. That's still me speculating. But it's not that it's unprecedented for Whitebeard to have unique relationships with other conquerors. That's my point.
And I agree with you, because again, I also thought of Ace and Luffy. Luffy wanted Ace on his crew. Luffy, like, Ace was like, nah. But if Luffy tried to say, let's go Straw Hat Pirates, and Ace is there, and Luffy tried to make Ace call him captain, that's not happening. Granted, it's different because Luffy's younger than Ace. That's a little brother to an older brother. I'm pretty sure Rox is older than Whitebeard.
Probably.
Just how Roger is older than Whitebeard. But again, that's a brother thing, though. If they became blood brothers, I can see why I'm not calling my brother captain. Just like I wouldn't call Lawrence captain. I wouldn't call you captain.
The point is just how the crew has been built, and like the aspects of taking pieces from other crews and making it into what the Rox crew might be, right? But the point is, Sebastian, is that this crew is always going to be different because there's conquerors on them. If there weren't conquerors on them, then we can gladly say they are exactly like the Blackbeard Pirates or exactly like the Cross Guild. But because even Roger has stated himself that this is his greatest adversary and he looked forward to fighting Rox, it's much different than Luffy going to fight Buggy, right? It's much different from like anything else, just because conquerors are on that ship, and there's many of them, and those conquerors have literally gone on to sell their own crews and have become the menaces of society that they happen to be. Even to the point the world government won't step in Wano with admirals because Kaido exists. It's a very, 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 very different aspect. So you can have your dreams aligned, or they could just not be aligned. But if they're not aligned and you're still following me, that's because there's strength behind that. No matter what. And that's what conquerors have always been throughout the show. That is why Katakuri does not challenge Big Mom, because she's so much stronger than him, right? There's been many aspects throughout the show where conquerors are just, they break the show. That's their job. They're not normal people.
That's all valid. That doesn't mean you can't pull crew dynamics from others.
Nah, but
it's true.
But listen, bro, it's always gonna be different. Like you're still the same person who believes that all of them came together because of a Davy backflip.
It could be.
This is what I'm saying. He don't understand.
This is the thing. Y'all aren't willing to open y'all minds up to possibilities, and I am. It's what it's always been.
I believe the fact that Robin said that there is some truth to a degree, but not all of them. Some of them, yeah. But no, I can't say Rock's got all the conquerors and all these other pirate members who are captain level, whatever, off one Davy back fight.
I didn't say that.
Or multiple Davy back fights.
I didn't say that. What we know is that the Davy back fights derived from that island.
Yeah.
They originate on the island that Rock's called home, where all these random powerhouses all join together and they don't work like a regular functioning crew that love their captain. A lot of those elements tell me some of them might have been gleaned via the Davy back fight. Whether that's accurate or not, cool. It doesn't matter. My point is, and it always has been, until I get absolute, perfectly told to me context for how these people all joined together, I'm gonna have speculation here.
So you just don't believe in pattern?
I believe in patterns.
No, you don't believe in repetition patterns.
I believe in patterns.
Like, we've seen in patterns what Conqueror's hockey users do.
And I've seen
We've
in
seen
patterns
it
what
throughout the
Conqueror's
story.
have done
And you're
too.
saying literally one Davy back fight off of high speculation, super high speculation, that all these people came together when that's not true. Conquerors wouldn't follow another Conquerors just because of a Davy back fight.
Yeah.
It would never happen.
So
that's how it built.
What's more likely to you?
Oh
and
my
again,
God.
we gotta move on. What's more likely to you? Whitebeard being the honorable man that he is, losing a Davy back fight and having to serve a captain that he doesn't want to be looked at as his captain, or he just straight got at me and now that's my captain. But I don't want to. But I can't refer to him as my captain.
That's it. You can be on somebody's crew and not want to refer to them as captain, but you don't step out of the crew.
But Whitebeard,
you don't challenge him for the crew anymore because you just can't beat him.
But Whitebeard is an honorable dude. You get what I'm saying?
Cares? Who cares? Like, again, Davy back fight and just somebody being honorable are your strongest points in this argument.
That's only because I brought the Davy
we
back
have
fight.
chapter after chapter after chapter after chapter after chapter and instances. It's differentiated throughout the story of what conquerors do, and they all do something similar amongst each other. There's so many times,
but there's also so many examples of conquerors working in the exact opposite way that you speak. You just brought up Katakuri. It's not just because he's scared of his mom that he's not doing something about it. Yeah. He has respect for her. It's not the same.
And what else? And what else? What else does Katakuri have?
In what context? What are you saying?
The same thing that Whitebeard has. He loves his family.
Yeah, and she's the biggest detriment to the family. She is.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is.
Sebastian.
Yeah, actively.
Oh my God.
Actively the biggest detriment to the family.
Every time we get into high debates, you just show how non-aware you are. The reason why the Big Mom pirates let Big Mom just appreciated Big Mom, no matter how abusive she was, because she never murked any of her children, by the way.
It's not true either. She attempted to murk several of them.
Did she murk them though?
Oh my God, yo.
No. Did she murk any of them?
So you're getting off a technicality?
No,
She's taking literal life force from them.
Did she murk any of them?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the reason why they appreciate Big Mom is because Big Mom is a force in the world that keeps their family safe.
While actively attacking it, while actively destroying it, while actively tormenting
my bad,
it, while
Sebastian.
actively causing the trauma that makes them who they are.
Sebastian, you never got a whooping when you were young. Come on, bro. Stop, bro.
You're comparing Big Mom to the parents that we had.
No.
She's terrible.
She could be terrible.
Listen.
But guess what? The world government doesn't come after them.
The point of Whole Cake Island was in part that Big Mom's whole thing is fake. It's sweets. It fills you up, but it's not real calories. Yeah. It's not actual nutrition. Okay. It's fake. That that shield that they have, that protection they have from Big Mom is BS. She'll toss any one of y'all out if need be. She doesn't care about any of y'all. Good. That's the point.
Yo, but
so
the family's
again,
safe, though.
the family's not actually safe. It took a half a pirate crew to ruin the whole family. It took Luffy and a few good men to ruin the whole family. The family was never actually safe. Right. That's the point.
That wasn't.
They were safe. All right, man. All right, they were safe. They were safe. Luffy and a few good men, and then Blackbeard comes through, and the whole crew's done. Okay. Whole crew done in 2 weeks. But they were safe.
Yeah, they were safe.
They were never actually safe. That's the point.
Did anybody pass away in the family when Luffy was there?
Oh my god.
Or did they just steal the road poneglyph?
I can't, man.
They just stole the road poneglyph. Guess what happened when Big Mom wasn't on Whole Cake Island? Because she wasn't there. What happened to them? What happened to them? No, speak. I'm waiting for you to speak.
They got
what happened to
bodied.
them? They got bodied.
But-
and guess what happened to Puddin'?
She got took.
Right, because Big Mom wasn't on the island,
I know.
right?
Listen, she
kept Whole Cake safe. She kept the family safe when she was there.
Yes. Oh my god, bro.
Bruh,
I really
I'm not getting
down.
this, bro.
I really gotta break this down.
I'm
bro.
not getting this, bro. Like, the world government never interfered with Big Mom. If anything, they collaborated with her.
I'm gonna try to make this as simple as possible. Big Mom allowed for them for fake protection. They were protected under the guise that she is strong and nobody's gonna mess with them if she's here and present, right? That's the protection that she provided them. The second that veneer was gone, the second somebody was able to enter into her territory, take what they wanted, and leave.
The main protagonist, by the way.
Kid did it, Luffy did it, Blackbeard did it. They all did it within a year's time. The second anyone started doing that stuff, that veneer started to lose its effectiveness.
No, it didn't.
It's true. All right, man.
No,
we
they
gotta
didn't.
we gotta move on, bro.
No, they didn't.
We gotta move on, bro. We gotta move on.
He defeated Snack, and then what happened?
gotta
Cracker
move
came
on,
after
bro.
him and put the work on him.
We gotta move on.
And
man.
that was sealed. That literally got sealed.
All right. I'm ready to move on.
Move on, bro.
All right. Appreciate the patience, y'all. We can get to the rest of the super chats. We got another 5 from Stanky Danky 760. It says, "What's up, guys? First time catching it live. I normally listen on Spotify. Quick question: how many horses can Law beat up at once? Hashtag Law the Horse Hunter."
I'm not beating up no horses, man.
All right. Another 201. I don't even know how you did that, Riasat, but thank you. It says, "Shout out to the GOATs. One Piece Talk. Thoughts on High School DxD, I think? Is it High School Today?
I don't know.
I don't know. Another 35 Czar from Imad Halbron. It says, Oda confirmed that Mihawk is waiting for a swordsman that surpasses Shanks to beat him. Will Zoro be around Shanks' level when he fights Mihawk? Did he confirm that? Did that happen?
I remember Oda saying something like that. I think maybe on a Vivi card or something, SBS. I do. Like, it does sound familiar. Whether Zoro becomes stronger than Shanks, we will see. I have no idea.
All right. Another 5 from Ravenstorm. It says, slowly donating to the hashtag MarvCam fund, but only 5% of it actually goes to the fund. The hashtag Larry tax is real, y'all. Another 3 months at Nakama status from Element 8245. Could Loki have the real gum fruit? I would say no.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Another 5 from Centrix. It says, if Sanji had Advanced Conquerors Hockey, who is the strongest person he can beat? One of the goals.
What was it?
I want to say one of the
If
goals.
Sanji has conquerors, who's the strongest person he could beat?
I mean, if he can't use it, then he's
Yeah.
just regular Sanji still.
I think they're playing if he
Yeah,
has
if he's
it, he can
utilizing
use
it.
Yeah.
If he's utilizing it,
Yeah, I would. Man. Is an Admiral too high?
I was
feel like it might
thinking
be too
Cat.
high.
I was
I
thinking
think you can beat Cat
too,
now,
but I don't
personally.
know.
But that's me.
Nah, you can't beat Cat now. You
I think you got that now.
Nah.
He definitely packing Cat of Advanced Conquerors Hockey. Definitely.
he can beat Marco.
Definitely.
Possibly do that now too.
I think he could
How
do
you
it.
gonna have?
Listen, bro.
doesn't make
No,
sense.
Cat is stronger than.
Yeah, Marco. Then how you gonna say possibly?
I didn't say possibly. I said I think he's definitely being Cat now. That's what I said.
But Marco.
You said possible.
Yeah, that doesn't make any
That's a
sense.
matchups thing. It is.
I got Sanji over Marco.
I got Cat and Sanji.
I got
over Marco.
Sanji over Marco now for sure.
I got
too.
both
Yeah.
over Marco, bro.
I mean, is the answer an Admiral then, or is it lower than that?
I mean, and then are we going to the weakest admiral? Because the weakest to us would be Greenbow.
Green.
Well, hold
there we
on.
go. All right.
Let's clarify this because you guys. No. You guys came at me before. Do you believe that Zoro could take out an Arrow now? Because if you're not saying that, but you think Sanji with it now can take out an hour.
Hold on. With the
You came at me before.
advanced Conqueror's Haki, implication is that he's utilizing it consistently. Zoro isn't even still using advanced Conqueror's Haki.
He didn't know he had it, bro.
Yeah, he's not consistently utilizing it. If Zoro's consistently utilizing advanced Conqueror's Haki, yeah, I'd have him over Admiral.
It's gonna be still extreme depth though.
Yeah.
He ain't taking like a cakewalk.
I don't
Sanji.
think he beats King.
Sanji?
Yeah, I don't think he beats King with it. It's unfair to say anything about Ben.
Yeah. Oh. That range though.
I feel like if you possibly can't beat 3 of the first commanders, then you can't say first. You can't say an admiral.
Okay, so
That's
again,
true,
this
that's
is
true.
the difference
Yeah, that's
between
true.
how we're scaling right now.
That's
Because
true.
obviously I
Yeah,
have
take it back.
Sanji higher than y'all seem to have him. Sanji with advanced Conqueror's Haki would beat every one of the
Is
first
it
commanders
regular?
except maybe it's an advanced ACoC. Advanced Conqueror's Haki.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. To me, with that, he's clearing them. I don't want to say easy, but he's clearing those people. 'Cause I already think he would beat dudes like Cat.
Nah, but the thing
You know
is,
what I'm
Cat
saying?
has conquerors, and he showed somewhat signs
Hey,
of
but
It's
advance.
not. I thought
Hey,
it was
bro.
just regular at Conquer.
Nah.
You heard me?
If it's
Advanced
advanced,
Conqueror's
no,
Haki,
it's
bro.
different if it's advanced.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, bro. I have him higher than y'all do. I already have him at first commander level, personally. Yeah, I don't. That's fine.
That's too much though, because then he's already like surpassing the first commanders.
the point of the Straw Hat Pirates is that they're going to be the greatest pirate crew of
No,
all
I
time.
want
That's
them
the
to
point.
surpass it. But Sanji right now, he's probably beat Queen, but I don't really have him over Cat and King.
I got him over
I don't.
Cat.
You think you think King's stronger than
So
Cat?
Matt, I've said this before. To me, all of them are relative. They just have different, unique things
No,
that make
you have
them
to
special.
know. You have to give
I
Cat-
give Cat the edge
You
in
have
most
to. He's a
cases
conqueror.
because he's a conqueror.
You have to.
But
And Awakening
Yeah.
and Future.
And Future
Sight.
King
Sight.
don't have any of those, bro.
Yo.
All he has a mythical zone. That's it.
But
But
they-
advanced durability.
But they said his durability is like practically like
Basically
high.
kind of.
It's
But
basically
it
high,
is.
yeah.
But he's what makes him different than Marco? Honestly.
Marco's different because he can regenerate.
Yeah.
and stuff.
King and Marco.
And it's
listen to
not
the
a,
same
it's
thing.
not a, I need to have the
Honestly.
flame
Whoa.
on.
They
thing.
both have abilities that help with their durability, but one's a creature, but one's not.
They all have things that make them unique.
Yeah.
But also too, to me, I'm gonna say I think I said before, I don't believe Marco is even first division commander level. I think he's like
To me, he's not. He's not.
I think he's second. Right.
He's
and
not.
also too, one.
He created the term.
Wait, no.
The term exists because he exists.
No, because to me, again,
I literally. Like he said, first division commander level. It's him. He is the first.
Oh, because he's the
That's
first
his
division.
thing. He's the first Yonko commander we've ever interacted with. It's him, bro.
And he's not even that level.
The thing
You're
is-
wrong.
I know. I actually might agree with Sebastian because
Whatever, bro.
to me, again, I'm not hyping Odin up like that, but Odin to me is not first division commander level. He's higher than that.
Yeah, of
He
course.
is.
Well,
But
that's different.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Because he can utilize Conqueror's Haki.
Yeah,
Well,
but
you can use like, but he can even utilize hockey. That's the thing is, all that I'm saying is all of them
use
use
hockey,
barely, bro, barely.
Anyway,
Yeah, y'all want me to crash so hard today, bro. Y'all want me to crash so hard today,
He
bro.
really used hockey against an admiral.
No,
Barely.
But I get what Lawrence is saying because he's a first commander. Hockey hardening, the black kind, right, should be coming with ease.
Yes.
Right?
I know, that's right.
And even so, we have all these extra things from the other first commanders. Granted, Katakuri has not only Conqueror's Haki, he has Future Sight. And then King not only has the Lunarian DNA of durability, where it takes Conqueror's Haki being utilized to hurt him, right? And plus to fight on par with him, because he's also a very good fighter. Marco just has regeneration and the bottom tier of Haki.
Yeah.
So he's like, bro, it's not at the first commander level.
That means Whitebeard never had a first division commander.
Dude, you already know how I feel about the Whitebeard pirates and how Whitebeard was just like that much. He kept, besides from like Ace, but he was still young, growing. It was literally he carried that much. Like that's what I saw.
Nah,
like
Visa's
dude,
definitely up
like
there.
I saw stronger and more proficient hockey feats from Queen and more than Marco. Like Case in point, we saw it more from Queen than Marco. It's not like we didn't see, because remember the whole thing I get back, I'm not trying to get Sebastian crash out. Well, I remember Sebastian was like, yo, give Marco time. Give him a second chance. We had all of Wano. The whole thing, he's taking on two division commanders, right? In Albert and Queen. Still not one shred of hockey shown in either of those fights. So I was just like, yo, I gave him time. He had a second chance. What more do you want? Like, you know what I'm saying?
And then he retired.
Yeah, and then he retired.
He went off into the distance like when Ash looked at Ho-Ho.
Yeah.
He just went away.
And to me, we saw him take very little damage and had bandaged up. So that just tells me that attacks that Albert was taking from Zoro, right? Because Albert took like 3 Conqueror's Coded attacks from Zoro, right? If Marco's out here being bandaged up from the little bit we saw, this dude is not taking 1. This dude took 2 and kept fighting Zoro. So then Zoro wiped out even more than got done in. And that's the end of the fight. Marco's not taking 1 of those attacks. So even durability-wise, Albert has greater. The fact he just can't regenerate. But he has a greater durability than Marco.
Yeah, done.
Sebastian about to tell you to shut up.
I'm gonna start telling y'all.
You know Lawrence not gonna take it well.
I'm gonna start telling all y'all.
You might want to chill out, bro.
Alright, we got another 2 months at Dogma status from Hans D. Zoro. It says, yo, 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 it's Monday, let's go. Hashtag Top Gang, hashtag BBC, hashtag OP. Thank you. Another 4 months at Nakwa status from Doug Missy. It says, how many animal I got a merc to be a business partner?
Oh
Dang,
my
what?
goodness. Those are not my requirements.
Michael Vick levels, gang.
Okay.
Another
Bro.
1 month at Nakwa status from Zoro D. Joyboy. It says, OG Yonko versus OG 7 Warlords. Who wins? Hashtag Saint Lair Bear, hashtag BBC. The OG Yonko.
Yeah, hands down, bro.
OG
Yeah,
Yonko,
bro. They only got 1 Yonko level combatant in the Warlords. Even with their whole crews. Like, if it's the Warlords plus all their crews and all the people that they got with them versus the OG Yonko still
You
wins.
trying to figure
Honestly? Nah, maybe.
You can say 1 doubt?
Oh, no, I'm saying 1 Yonko against all the
I gotta give Mihawk respect. Cause I don't think Kaido could beat Mihawk plus Jinbei plus Gecko Moria plus Doflamingo plus Crocodile plus, like, I don't think he could do that.
Why not?
Yeah.
Because Mihawk's gonna wear down on him on some level. He has to.
Okay.
It's a lot going on. And then
it?
Kuma can just revive people and stuff. Like, it's a lot.
I mean,
it's a
I
lot.
give you
It's
some
a
of
lot.
them could hurt Kaido, and I'm also talking about Kuma.
That's a lot, bro.
Honestly.
Because
And ball handcuff.
Because it get penetrate inside.
Yeah, and ball
It's
handcuff.
a lot, bro. It's a lot.
Doflamingo ain't doing
Yo,
nothing.
all
honestly.
of them against Bajrangan. They stalemating it?
They got Mihawk, man.
Nah,
Believe in Mihawk. Believe in Mihawk,
Do
man.
they stalemate a Bajrangan?
Yes.
All of them?
Yes.
Attacking together?
Yes. And if need be, Kuma get them out of there.
Crack.
Another 2
Pure crack.
from Alex Perez. It says, hello, hot take. Could Mr. 2 have been an ex-celestial dragon? Where's that from?
No.
Where's the pull? Where's the logic? I need to thought big.
Mr. 2?
Yeah.
Was it Sanji for?
Yeah.
Bon
Clan.
Clay,
No.
bro.
I need the logic.
I'm telling you, what connection?
I'm gonna
thing
keep it a
just-
bug, bro. They probably don't allow that. at the Holy Land, they probably don't allow it, bro.
Honestly? We haven't seen one.
Come on,
We
man.
haven't seen
Yo,
one.
come on,
Yo,
man.
think about it, bro.
Yo,
No, if you think
We
about it,
haven't seen one person out there,
if
bro.
you think about it, the
Yo,
first one we
yo.
saw was a slave.
You know what I'm
come
saying?
on.
Yo, I'm telling you, bro.
Y'all tweaking, bro.
Yo.
You're right.
They're definitely not allies, bro. Alright, that's all I'm saying, bro.
And they be... I don't know, bro.
Yeah, Lawrence, let's just move past it.
Let me stop.
Yo.
Y'all wild, man. We got another 8 months of Nakma status from Big B Stalo. It says top 30 question marks. Keep up the great content, fellas. Thank you. We were supposed to do that, right?
Yeah, I forgot.
I'm not gonna be in town this week. My
Okay.
bad.
No, that's cool.
Maybe the weekend if y'all.
It depends on the twins.
Yeah.
You know how they be.
I get back Saturday, like morning. So.
Lionel's like, what are y'all talking about?
No,
you're
you're
here. Oh, you're here.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
yeah,
was
yeah,
sure.
okay.
Another 50 from Lucky Roo. It says, do y'all agree that old man Garp would put belt to add to old man Whitebeard? Most likely mid to high diff. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Are we talking Whitebeard with like Marine 4 Whitebeard? I'm about to pass because this illness.
I'm going Garp.
Because if
He said belt at. I don't think it's ever gonna be that.
I'm gonna tell you right now, old man Whitebeard, like on Marine 4, like, he's already passing. He's not taking Galaxy Impact. He's gonna overwork his heart.
Especially if there's two more of them.
Yeah,
Like three, bro.
only because in that condition. If Whitebeard didn't have that illness, that was because Whitebeard. I already said he planned to pass on Marine 4 War.
Say it's Whitebeard that clashed with Shanks. That Whitebeard.
Same.
He was talking to machines.
Can we say Whitebeard clashing with Ace? Because he didn't have anything during that moment.
That's a better way because I don't think he was sick yet.
Yeah.
Let me ask this. So you've brought up the fact that like ocean sovereignty from Kaido and Big Mom would be blocked by the Gura.
Gura go crazy.
All right. So do you believe that Garp's
Galaxy Impact could be blocked? Yeah.
would block it too, or would he
Oh,
push
would he
past?
block the ACoC sovereignty?
Yeah.
From both of them?
Sebastian.
Come on, Sebastian.
Come on, Sebastian.
Gura go crazy.
Yo, I'm telling you.
Oh my
Gura go
god.
crazy.
Listen, bro. I'm telling y'all, bro. Y'all
Gura
don't.
go crazy.
Y'all witnessing it first.
Gura go crazy.
What we've had to deal with for years, bro.
Gura go crazy.
You're saying that Blackbeard Gura could
Gura period. It go crazy.
black
Yes.
Garps and Big Moms, not at the same time, but like
Yeah, bro.
Sebastian's also forgetting that I'm pretty sure the sovereignty was like mostly, if not all, hockey.
Hold on. Continue, my
And then the Gura is an ability-based attack.
Yeah.
So it's like, which one's gonna win out?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with hockey.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this next one. All right. So the Gura wasn't able to pierce the shields of Marine 4. It left a dent in it though, for sure, right? That's very impressive. Do you think Galaxy Impact can break through those?
And I can remind you what Luffy did.
Hold on. Let him answer. I want him to answer. See, bro, See?
Are you serious?
Bro. Yo, I'm telling you,
Are you
bro.
serious?
Because to me, I think they would.
Okay.
I gotta find a way to make this work for me.
No, you know.
Yo, you heard him. You heard him. He said, I gotta find a way to make this work for me. That's every debate we ever have. And y'all just fall victim to it.
Because you're talking about the shields at the battleship,
Yeah.
right?
No. The shields that they put up for the walls.
Yeah.
That Orange Jr. had to like beat over.
Whitebeard was old, man. He'd have broken him in his prime.
So the Gura put a dent in it.
Yeah.
But it didn't break it down. But
Yeah.
Galaxy Impact, you're saying breaks through it.
Oh, these are about ACoC sovereignty.
No, I'm saying
okay.
Galaxy Impact. Does it break through that wall?
Perhaps. There were still some buildings out here.
The answer is yes.
There was a lot of buildings still good.
No, the answer
There was
is
a
yes.
lot of buildings on Beehive that were still good.
Sebastian, no.
There was a lot of buildings
Sebastian,
that
I'm
were
telling you right
very
now.
much intact.
He was legit. I don't know what that was made of, but you could even argue
Very
that
much
some of that was made of is what the battleship front, the plates.
We don't
were
know
made out
if
of.
there was
He was
sea
using this
stone
as
involved.
freaking punching bags.
We don't know if
Sebastian.
we don't know if there was sea stone involved in that.
No, there's two instances.
And it took him a while to break those down.
Sebastian,
If I remember
That's without
correctly.
hockey.
Bash it.
That's
Yeah,
without hockey,
exactly.
bro.
Bash it. Garbage Lee said no hockey to Aokiji. Wonder why? Because we already see what hockey does to Sea Stone. Luffy and Rangers proved it. They destroy it. Hockey destroys Sea Stone. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah, light up on his cradle.
I was about to say that. He brought his Kratos voice out.
You can see we're all done with Sebastian this episode, huh?
Girl, man.
I'm telling you, bro.
I'm gonna win in the end.
And then
I always win in the end.
Sebastian's whole fan base is gonna be like, "Why are you guys jumping him? It's 3v1. I'm stand with Sebastian.
I always
Let me
win
run through the comments.
in the
I
end.
hate Larry.
I always win in the end, man. Y'all gotta learn that by now.
That
man.
was the most ridiculous thing you ever said.
Another 5 from Syntrex. It says, now that Zoro knows he has Conqueror's Haki, how powerful you think that will make him? Pretty damn powerful. Probably powerful enough to take on an Admiral. And
I think he's gonna start using it a lot more.
He's gonna have to, especially that talk with Gabon gave him. He better.
Yo, word. He's like,
we got another 10 from Dr. Threat. It says, no taxation without representation. Perfect weekend for that. It says hashtag white fan tax. Not the perfect weekend for that. No, another hashtag Larry tax. All right, thank you, Dr. Threat. The other 10 from Angel Rodriguez. Do you think Maharaga from JJK could adapt to Kaido's durability and start landing hits that could hurt and take Kaido out? Or could Kaido take the win before Maharaga can adapt? I think Kaido would win before Maharaga adapts. I'm also not caught up in the JJK manga, so I could be speaking on very dated information. But the Maharaga I saw in the anime, that's not enough to beat Kaido. It's not adapting quick enough to beat Kaido, in my opinion.
I feel like whatever I say is going to be wrong.
So. I think I'm not caught up in JJK, so it's tough. Another 5 from Lethal97. It says, a stream on my birthday, best gift ever. Also, do you guys think Loki might die in order to save Elbaf? Hashtag give me some topped. Well, 1, happy birthday. And 2, sure, I'm with it. I'm always about folks dying in One Piece.
Yeah, word. For no reason.
Yeah, when Virgo passed, you were very upset about that.
Because they ain't mean nothing. Bring Virgo back, man. Y'all always take the wrong ones, man. Neji, Virgo. Ace could go. That's fine.
I would rather have Ace alive than Virgo. Like, hands down. It's not even close.
Oh, man.
Like, I wouldn't even have to
Ace
think
too
about
impactful, man.
Too
Doing too
impactful.
much. Roger's son. Get out of here. Y'all want Luffy find a One Piece, right? What are we talking about? Another 7 from Gloomy Scorpion. Interesting how Loki, who claims to be the sun god, has been offered to join both the antagonist and protagonist, choosing between the dark and light Nika. I don't know if I would call Emu the dark Nika, but that I get the representation there, having to choose between the 2 options. He also idolized a previous potential Joy Boy candidate, at least the way we view the story. We got another 5 from JT. It says, what up top? Not gonna lie, I need more debates like Sanji versus Lucci or when Luffy surpasses Ace. Also, Larry, can I get my dog? I'm working on the taxes. Well, you probably loved the beginning of this episode because that was a pretty similar debate, I feel like. Another 5, Canadian from Smooth Weave. Isn't it weird how the world government tries to cover up any event that makes them look bad, and yet the whole world all knows all the details of Akainu and Aokiji's fight? I don't think that looks as negatively on the world government as it probably should, or at least in the same way. Like, I'm not looking at that as the same like that I'm looking at Eni's lobby. I'm not. He's like O'Hara, you know. Like, these are 2 dudes who work together that have a disagreement that ended up fighting, and one of them leaves. We talking about massacring entire islands.
Yeah, and I think that battle was mostly focused more on the Marines themselves, not the world government's actions and what the dirt that they be doing.
But it just dawned on me because I always think I always thought, for example, the world itself had these blinders on when it comes to the world government, but they recognize that they're evil. They may not know everything, how evil they are, but case in point, Doflamingo's family, as soon as they had a chance of fallen CDs without that protection, what do? They came after them. So they know like what the world government does, but a lot of times they're kind of like in submission because they know they can't fight back. They are the ruling power and they have so much protection and so much power that they can't do anything. They're scared to. They're in this like little thing. So it's like they know how evil they are, but they don't know the full extent how bad it is. Also, they are offering a measure of protection from pirates as long as you pay the heavenly tribute.
Another 5 from Alex Perez. What if devil fruits are the dreams of famished slaves used to power ancient weapons that dreamt of something to eat? That last part is kind of funny to me, but the way Oda thinks, I can see it, low key. I don't know how we tie in the eating of the dreams to the ancient weapons like that, but maybe. Another 10 from the FedEx guy. It says, what's up top? Do you think the Serpent of Hellfire from the mural is referring to the Red Line? I think it's possible since the Giants called the Red Line the Blood Serpent. The name changed over time.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, it's very possible. I saw a theory the other day that said that Joy Boy created the first Red Line to, like, what was the theory? It was like to prevent an ancient weapon from going off or something like that. I kind of liked it, but I don't know how. So, I don't know.
I think the world's too big for somebody to do that. Like, we've never seen powers go to that extent in One Piece. We've seen Aokiji freeze, water, but he didn't freeze the entire ocean.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, and he's infinite of what he is. So for him to, like, do the whole entire planet, Luffy could barely last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Hey, we talking about Joy Boy, bro.
But I would love for One Piece to get to that level. Like I've always said, I would love for Law
That make
to
a room
do
around the world.
a world room.
But the One Piece world is just so big.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
too big.
That's true.
What you're saying actually made me think of what if Luffy, I was saying Joe Boy, did that because they know about the world flooding. He pulled the red line to give him a chance. Like, cause I thought we always seen like there's continent pullers, and we saw a big giant skull on Wano and on Higoshima. Like I'm thinking this is possibly that Joe Boy got that big and grabbed a piece of land because we know that they could stretch. That he grabbed a piece of land to raise it up, but didn't have time to finish the rest from the world from flooding.
It's all possible, bro. With the devil fruit that Luffy got.
Yeah.
So,
But that's
I mean,
the only thing. Like if Luffy could even get that big, because that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, say, I mean, I don't want to linger too long, but say Joy Boy is an ancient giant. Or an ancient giant like Loki is. Now it's like, all right, I'm going to make myself a giant. While I'm already a giant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a giant to me. What would I look like to y'all, to me? And I do that. Now what size is that person trying to do what we're saying? It's still not red line big, but it's big. I don't know.
I think Luffy could get to Ora's level. Like that big. That's probably the biggest giant we have.
I mean, bro, that sword exists.
Yeah.
Inside of, like, whatever. Somebody wielded that sword that's in Elbaf.
I still don't think it's big enough.
But that's a sword.
All right, but
You
what
get what I'm saying?
what
Like,
about
something was big enough. Onigashima's skull
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
exists.
make up. Onigashima
Something
skull.
is that big.
That is
No,
probably-
but I don't think even then that's not big enough to
hey,
do the entire world.
I feel you.
to that degree.
I feel you.
But the thing is, gotta say, we also don't know, like, because since there's no world map, how big the One Piece world is. Because if we're going by Earth size, you can gauge it. But since the Oda's kind of playing that, we don't know if it's actually Earth size. It could be even bigger. We don't know like the whole world aspect of One Piece. Like we only have a few pieces of islands, but how actually is the One Piece? How big the One Piece world is for our comprehension for those big things to be alive and roam around.
Yeah. From the way the Oda said, like you said, it kind of seemed like the One Piece world is bigger than what Earth should be because all this time, like, they said it's not mapped out and how long it's been. And it's like they kind of think it's almost impossible to map the world or even travel around the world. Right? So.
We did get 20 gifted memberships from our guy Roy Stokes.
Roy, thank you, man.
Sorry
Thank
for the
you,
delay
Roy.
in the shout out for
Appreciate
that.
you, dog.
Throw the knock 'em fists up. I know I saw a few earlier.
That's our dog, bro.
Really appreciate all that you do, man.
Thank you, Roy.
Another 5 from Kirby. It says, if you could ask one pirate anything, what would you ask? I'd ask Whitebeard if he ever boxed rocks. Hashtag shirts off for Shin. Hashtag bang bang buggy gang. I'm sure they fought. At some point. I'm sure they fought.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it. At least once.
You're gonna fight at some point. Any pirate, anything. Y'all have something? I'm asking Whitebeard where you got that scar from. Y'all know me, I'm petty, man. I need how you got every single one of them, bro. Details.
I think I might ask.
Big old rocks, imagine.
That doesn't even make any sense.
No, we know one of them's Roger.
Yeah.
I think I might ask Joy Boy because he was the first pirate. I don't know what though.
Honestly,
What made you become a pirate? I don't know.
I have a question, but I guess I could ask Joy Boy. But it's actually going to the prophecy. As in, who's the one who made the prophecy in the first place? Like,
Who was the origin of the prophecy?
Yeah,
itself?
where did it come from? Because again, I'm going by if Joe was the one who's saying and Roger saying from Laughtale, how does Joe Boy know this if he's the one who put it? That goes into did his future sight go further to something that we don't even understand?
It's probably just fortune telling.
That's what I thought so too.
It's been on multiple islands.
That's what I thought so too, but it's like
I think it's deeper than that because the Toki stuff, right? Like she was speaking to the prophecy and she was from that time.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just like fortune teller or somebody. She knows something about the true history, but what's going to go down. Like I don't know if she was told or she helped create the poneglyphs or what, but like she knows something and she was out here speaking to. At this time, these people are going to come and do this, right? That's more specific to Wano, but in general, they knew she was jumping forward in time to get to this time. She just wasn't. She didn't get far enough and fell in love and the whole shebang. So it's like, like there's something there. It can't just. I mean, maybe I'm limiting it by saying it can't just be, or maybe I'm thinking too deeply into it, thinking it can't just be a fortune. But there's something there.
And that's the point I was thinking of. Like, I thought of something more. Like, but I don't know why I thought of Future Sight, because two things I thought of Violet's ability and Future, and you having Future Sight and that connecting, like the Nell's thing and advancing something. But you start thinking about ability as well. Like, certain things that link to the future. Because, like, this prophecy had to come from somewhere. Fortune telling doesn't make sense, but I feel like it could be more, but again, we could just be saying it has to be more when it's just not. It's fortune telling, but it's simple. But I don't know. I thought of something like, because I'm thinking of where this prophecy came from, and to my thinking is it came from Jobo himself, and that's something that how does he know that much in the future? Because that's not 20 years.
Right.
It's longer where Jobo's from.
Centuries. Bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But they're already centuries ahead of time as far as the technology that they have. So
I also think as part of it is like the concept of inherited will. It could also be just part of it, not all of it, obviously. You're chalking up to now people will fight against this oppression. It's like you're confident that someone that will after me will take my place. Like no, they're not gonna. This world is not gonna stand because everyone wants freedom, right? You understand that the people from the first world were anyway kind of praying for it, wishing for it. So it's like, no, someone's going to stand up like there has been in the past. I'm standing up now. So you kind of already have it happened once there. I'm doing it another time. Someone else in the future is going to stand up again. So it's kind of like, someone's going to inherit this will to stand up against this government, against these people who are trying to repress the world and control everything to their submission. So it could be part of that. Like you're confident that, no, someone's going to continue our work, so to speak.
Larry, before I move on, did you have a question for a specific pirate or no?
A specific pirate?
Or just it said ask any pirate anything.
I probably asked Ace why he just ain't listen to Whitebeard, bro.
Be a conqueror, man. that's the real answer.
Nah.
I mean,
that's not the reason. Yo, why, bro? Why didn't you just listen, bro?
That's how
I really would ask him that.
You think?
It's not part of his conqueror's nature.
No, that was.
It would have just been like, he was just ups. I would have been like, just stop, bro. Listen to the boy.
What
bro.
I mean by that is, to Ace, disrespecting Whitebeard is the worst thing you could do, and by killing Thatch, he disrespected Whitebeard in the worst way you could possibly do it, and he felt responsible because it was a dude in his division that did it. So it's like it's on me to handle it. He felt the need to handle it, and that's where the conqueror part is coming in.
But it's also a little deeper because remember how how Ace viewed Whitebeard, because Ace already had with his father, but we noticed that when people talk bad about Roger and him, Ace destroyed that dude. He beat him to near death. So it was a link to it's happening again. Somebody's talking to somebody who I view this someone like a father figure.
It's reversed now. Yeah. You're talking negatively about my dad, and I don't that for my dad or whatever. But now I have a reason to respect this guy.
Yeah.
This person who took me in, and I needed it and all the things, and now. But again, Blackbeard did the worst possible thing, and I feel responsible, so now I'm doing it. So,
ultimately, that's not what got him, murked. It's actually just saving Luffy.
Yeah.
But that was the point, right?
Yeah, but because if honestly, it was a punk move by Akainu.
That's the best move you can make.
No, it's a punk move, bro.
Running?
It's a punk move. Luffy, this little kid has his guard down. I am fighting. He's all said you gonna come and attack him when he's not even paying attention.
He's a pirate. What are you talking about? It's the job.
Nah, he was already.
You have all these grown men.
The job, bro.
All these grown men that you're gonna fight. Oh, I'm a not really finish my battle with Whitebeard, but I'm gonna go after this 17-year-old, even though I'm in my 50s.
They were escaping.
Come on, man.
We really coming at Kaido for doing his job right now, as we doing?
No, I'm talking about this other. So Luffy was the only pirate there. That's what I'm talking about.
Luffy was the only pirate there that could get Ace to do
Look who he targeted. He targeted the two youngest pirates there.
They had the most potential.
Luffy and Ace.
Yeah.
The two youngest pirates there.
Nip them on early, man.
Right,
imagine letting Ace live. Imagine that. We living with Luffy and Ace right now.
You have a Whitebeard. And then he has to go.
We out here struggling to deal with buggy-led pirates.
And he has to go to talk disrespectful about Whitebeard. while you not trying to finish your fight, but I'm
We
attacking
really mad at Akainu, bro.
to these two greenhorns still learning.
He a cop, bro. This is their
Oh,
job.
man.
This is what they do.
Was it his job when he murked his other friend?
Yeah,
his
word.
other
They wasn't standing 10 toes.
co-worker?
Yeah,
Nah,
right.
he was wild.
Yeah, and those civilians that like
Listen.
that snitch. So you find this out. That's what would happen. They snitch. Yo, Akainu, you got the people out here reading the books. Oh, okay. Oh, one of them might be on your ship.
Listen.
Take them.
I'm
Like,
not saying
destroy them all.
He justified in all actions.
This dude.
I'm saying I don't see anything wrong
gotta
with
stop
him
nitpicking.
taking
You
out
gotta stop
word,
nitpicking,
bro.
Ace.
Gotta
Ace
stop.
had to go, man. Y'all gotta accept that.
I think you're gonna learn eventually that the chess moves you be making.
it's not just me.
It don't. Be
I
working,
know
bro.
what was needed.
You can't.
So did Oda.
You can't point out one person's great thing and be like, "Yo, let's avoid everything else." Though.
Listen,
You can't do that every debate. Bro.
I contextualize every debate. Akainu was needed to get Ace up out of there. It was needed for the story. It made sense. It made Ace tragic. All the things worked. All right? And we needed it to be Luffy. Because it doesn't hit home the same if Ace just dies fighting Akainu. It needed to be Luffy going through all that and realizing he was too weak. He had to be the reason Ace died. So yes, Lawrence, it needed to go down where Luffy was helpless and Ace had to protect little bro. Alright? Because otherwise, Luffy just go, nah, really, we good. We in the new world, man. It's up. And he gets clipped anyway by some random.
Good job, Seb.
Anyway, another 5 from Zateb. It says, what if Zoro beats Mihawk? He dies to go fight Kuina in the afterlife to truly be the greatest swordsman. What?
Oh my god.
I would hate that.
That's yeah.
Wait, I'm trying to make sense of it. Wait, Zoro beats Mihawk, and then Mihawk loses to Kuina too.
I'm assuming it's Zoro who's then dying.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Which still makes no sense to me.
How
But
he win and then unless he dies later on.
because Mihawk don't know who Queen is, dog. I don't even think Zoro told him about her during the 2 years. It's so serious. I don't even think that even happened. So I don't see it as a deb. Another 5 from Jalen Gator. It says, "What's Marv's take on Dragon and Garp? Should he have went after Ginny? Should Garp have saved Ace?"
I haven't finished the backstory of Kuma yet, so I don't know. I'm not too sure if he should have went after her, Ginny, or not. Did he say as far as Garp goes too?
Yeah, Garp and Ace.
I love Ace. When he first got introduced, I thought that was like definitely the coolest looking character, for sure. You guys spoiled him dying out for me. And not on this podcast. When you guys were on Mina's podcast, you spoiled it.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I remember that
He was
moment.
gonna be a donut.
Damn. I remember that moment.
And then that last episode with Garp when what's on the island where Blackbeard
Beehive.
What is it called? Beehive?
Yeah.
That episode was amazing. That was a great showing for Garp. I didn't really like Garp until that episode.
Okay.
I could understand why. I understand why.
All right. Appreciate that, Mark. Another 2 from JT. It says, "Big rocks, high stocks, might have locks." Roger and 5. Another 5 from Shadow. It says, "Hey, Top Pod, which devil fruit would y'all utilize better than its owner and why?"
We got this one before, I believe.
Better? Oof.
Better is a little
That
tough.
could be anything, right?
It all comes down to your imagination. So how...
Well, I feel like an easy one for all of us is kids, but that's too easy. Let's go on.
I wasn't great at science as a student. I probably could use a little better
Lawrence
creativity.
came out the
But that-
gate swinging, bro. That's mean, Lawrence. Yo.
Kinemones, yo. I'm gonna be fly. I'm gonna be so fly, bro. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be creating raid suits. I'm gonna be creating all types of like stuff that I could wear to protect me from stuff. I'm gonna be fly as hell. I'm going Kinemones, bro.
Yo, real talk. Marcos. I'd use his ability better than he could, yo.
What would you do?
I'd be able to regenerate people's like arms
Like other
and like
people?
limbs, yeah.
We don't know that's impossible though. I mean,
It wasn't possible for him.
okay,
You know what I'm saying?
fair.
I would say that's for me.
You think that's what the awakening is, where you could like revive other people? then he really sold.
Yeah, he could have just saved Whitebeard.
He
bro.
really. You talking about what? I'm talking about Ace.
Oh yeah, true. Save both, bro.
Yeah, he really sold then.
Because if you look
Lawrence
at it,
will really hate him then.
because if you look at it, he had the perfect position to awaken his ability if there was an awakening. There's a man on your crew that's consistently sick, and we're using drugs to make him better. But we're not using my flames. I would have been consistently pumping into Whitebeard. Pause.
Come on, man.
Yo, y'all so immature,
Bro, what?
I expect better from the
That
twins.
was crazy.
What do we do?
Stop, bro.
What do we
Stop,
do?
bro.
Yo,
I didn't mean it
bro.
like that, bro.
I didn't
That
say
was
anything, bro.
crazy.
I didn't say anything.
All right,
bro.
you guys are done.
I didn't say.
I didn't
All
say.
right,
it.
Lawrence
Actually-
Alano, you guys nothing to say?
Oh, honestly, I'm awakening Kaido's fruit. He's tripping. I don't know what's going on. It's easy.
I guarantee you, bro. He was, bro. There's no doubt in my
Lawrence
mind.
just say he making sure he gets seen on.
Yeah.
word.
I'm flexing that. I'm like, look at that being me. I feel that. Number 2 from
Wait,
Alex.
Lionel didn't say
Oh,
his.
yeah.
I can't think of anywhere right now. Fruit that's better than I could use better than somebody else's.
In Lionel's defense, he's always said he wouldn't eat a devil fruit. He would purposely train in all the martial arts skills that exist. So, the martial arts fruit, I guess, it doesn't exist, but it would be like.
I mean, he could just choose a Zoan. So he could probably go with what's the dude that Sanji fought? And Ennis Lobby, his name again?
Jabra.
Yeah. Jabra. Wasn't his name Jabra?
It's either we used to call him Jabra. I'm pretty sure it's Jabra. Whatever. I don't know.
But Lionel Kyle said he would. You mentioned something about the strong fruit, say Jesus versus fruit, because I think it fits more of the martial arts.
So
style
you just
consistent.
lift more things?
Well, if you add that with your martial arts,
Yeah, but
Nah, if you're hitting harder, you know what I mean?
yeah, if you add that with your martial arts,
and if it works similar to like a Zoan, then
The only way I would like that fruit is if I could become Taguro, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, but you get me,
I'm
like-
just like.
But
This is
80%.
25%.
I think it's more like I feel like it'll be more like the Hulk with martial arts.
Hulk, I don't want to be
Yeah,
a
pretty
Hulk,
much. Because
man.
like, if I can get the strength and like increase my strength regularly without transforming into a weird looking animal, but I could stay as like a human regularly, then yeah. The only thing I would not like is me not being able to swim. I hate that.
Do you swim now?
Shut up.
Dude, yeah.
So why you bring that up?
Do y'all think you could just swim if you use enough hockey?
No.
Nah.
No.
What? Like willpower? You can willpower?
Yeah. You just like, yo, nah,
Yo,
bro. I'm not
that'd
letting the ocean stop me today. I'm grinding.
That's crazy.
Lawrence is like, nothing stopping me.
That's crazy.
Another 2 from Alex Perez. Would the world government have existed during the Void Century? So not the world government. There may have been some other nebulous nation out there, possibly even the Ancient Kingdom itself. But the world government was created after during the war during the Void Century that the 20 kings came together. Like they came as a result of that.
Yeah.
So not the world government itself. There could very well have been some other dominating.
I think there wasn't a world power at the time, like the world government, but I think there was I said it wrong. There was a world power as in the strongest kingdom or whatever that stood above the advanced one.
Oh, you mean stronger than the Ancient Kingdom even?
No, the ancient kingdom is the advanced one.
Yeah.
So I think they probably stood as the strongest.
Okay.
And the world government obviously toppled them and then creating their own world government.
Because they was hating.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, we got another Nakaba joined the ship with Misery Avenue, and they donated 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Misery.
So thank you, Misery.
Thank you.
Misery loves company. We got another 10 from Roberto Figueredo. It says, "Hey, Top Crew. I'm only stopping by to say hi. I will watch you guys in the morning because I have 1,400 piece truck I gotta unload, and you guys help me finish that truck faster. Good night, everyone." Well, good luck, man. And
Wow.
That's
hope-
Jeez, bro.
lift with your legs, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Now with your back.
Now with your back. But yeah, another 2 months at Nakama Status from It Slips. It says, "Yo, shout out to Top."
It's slips?
It's lisp. Like it's a lisp. Like it's trying to make you.
I thought you
do
said
the lisp.
it slips.
I heard that too.
Yeah.
I hope you're happy. It's lisp. Yo, shout out to Top. I love y'all. Thank you. With a heart emoji.
Thank you, bro.
Another 5 from Dopey. It says, watching from the hospital right now. Someone purposely hit my car. The man in the suit got whispered in my ear, best pay that Larry Tag. Yeah, I gotta chill. Because I be actually concerned.
I'll be like, oh, shoot.
I hope you're not actually watching from the hospital for some other reason or
yeah.
similar reason. I'll be good, Dopey.
Stay
Don't
safe
tell
out
the
there.
doctors my name. Don't do that. Bro.
Oh, man. We got another 5 from Kirby. It says, I'm calling it now. Emu will try to Leloucia Elbaf, and Luffy will do something crazy, like open a black hole. That's a lot.
Crazy.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's too much.
But hey,
I've called that though.
a black hole?
Elbaf will get struck down, like by the ancient weapon, because of the mural. I said it ever since the mural.
Yeah.
January 2nd. I believe that's when it happened.
I'll go back. Another 2 from Wade the Asian. Larry speaking on rocks like he was there. LOL. I mean, we all jump to our things, man. Another 20 from Jordan John. Love you boys. You always make me chuckle while I'm doing side quests and whatnot. How do you guys think Loki will perform on Elbaf? Hashtag BBC. Hashtag Longways Lionel. Hashtag Law the Dog. Hashtag Hoochie Daddy Seb. What is Longways Lionel?
What does that mean?
That's the first one, man. I think he'll perform well. He's been one of the more hyped characters in One Piece history, to be honest.
Yeah, he'd be alright.
Like,
He'd be good.
he'd be good.
He'd be good.
He about to go crazy, man.
He about to stun on Kaido, man. I'm ready though. I'm ready to jump out the window. I'm jumping out the window with
My
Loki,
thing
bro.
is, I wonder if he's gonna be awakened.
I hope he's all the things.
Hey, 13 years, was it?
I hope he's all
Was
the
it 13
things,
years,
bro.
yeah?
We'll see.
All right, we got another 2 from Zoro Top 1. Seb is right. Larry, you're wrong. Rock's dynamic is different. I can't confirm that I'm right either. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get more context. Another 13 months. Knockman status from Misery Avenue. Love from Tennessee. I like Tennessee.
Tennessee, man.
It's out there
Hey.
last year, 2 years ago. One. It's nice. Another 2 from Rocky DeArmas. Larry, it's okay. Time will prove the facts. Rocks, number 1.
We'll see.
Yeah. Another 5 from SC615. I hate agreeing with Seb, but he's right about Whitebeard and rocks. Larry just trying to justify his glaze and speculating massively. Hashtag not Larry tags.
I speculated massively. I speculated massively. I literally, you know what? Yeah, that's why I can't, bro. Like, you could literally say 1 + 1 = 2, and people be like, nah, yo, how'd you do that?
I don't like we gotta pick sides, man. Alright? I don't like it. Me and Larry both stood firm in our convictions, and one of us will be right-ish, and the other one will be righter-ish. How'd that work for y'all? Another 5 from Luis Lopez. What if Bonnie is the one who's telling the story about One Piece in the end? Hashtag Larry tags, hashtag BBC.
Clearly a dude's voice in the narrative. I don't know.
It could be one of those odd futures, man. Yeah, I don't know that Oda even had Bonnie as a concept when he first started the story, so I don't know if I'm doing the Bonnie was the narrator thing. No. But I could be tripping. Another 10 from B-Dot. It says, so what y'all saying is that Whitebeard got mind control over Rocks. Rocks tell him to shut up, he be quiet. But when Rocks leaves, he be talking. Hashtag Lino is here. Yeah, he is, man.
I guess somebody watched Black Dada, man. Oh, that's
Come
Friday.
on, man.
That's from Friday, yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Didn't they make a reference to Black Dada too?
No.
A similar scene took place.
Yeah. So
With
that's
the
how-
I'm running things. Like,
Yeah,
that's similar,
that's
but it's
different.
not. That's,
I thought I said that.
This was bar for bar.
yeah.
I know. I thought Black Dada, but I swear there's a scene. All right, never mind.
Another 5 from Sharks the Dragon. No, Katakuri isn't trying to fight his mom. Name a man who does. I know a couple.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Not a lot of great moms out there, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I understand Loki's reasons, but
Y'all wouldn't fight Big Mom?
That's fighting your mom, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm fighting.
I mean, so you could fight her or just get her some cake?
Morals.
I
Like,
need
you
morals?
Yeah, bro. You can't just be out here wanting to fight your mom.
So
just
you
leave.
fight her or just get her what she wants to eat? Like there's a,
or just leave.
that's what they always choose. Like, yo, instead of fighting mom,
Then
she's
you're
hungry.
constantly living under her terror, though.
Bro,
they
what
live in fear of
You heard
her
me?
every day.
Just leave.
Or that. They ain't do none of that.
That's because they love their
That's
mom.
no, that's, hold on. Love? They don't love her.
Yeah, they do.
They fear. Y'all think they love Big Mom?
It's a love and fear.
Do you not know
relationship.
how psychology works?
I guess not, bro.
What the hell?
Y'all think they love her?
Yes.
They fear her.
No,
fear
Sebastian.
and love.
So, Sebastian, yeah. Fear, like, putting up with all that stuff is love. Fearing her when she goes crazy is different. It's like, we don't want mom to go
This is
crazy.
Stockholm syndrome.
Hold on. So, did you never fear any of your parents growing up?
Of course I did, but I
Did you
actively
love
love
them?
them. Of course.
Okay, that's
My
what's
parents,
happening
my
for them.
parents aren't the worst thing happening to me every day.
Bastion.
I did not.
That's not true. She barely has any effect. Most of the time, it's just happiness on their island.
And Bastion.
And the thing is, she don't even take years off their life. She takes it from the people that live on the island.
Bro.
Look, I get Big Mom is selfish.
Yo, what's wrong with you? Have you not watched Whole Cake?
Bro, y'all are
Bastion,
tripping.
no.
She's the worst thing
you're-
that happened to any of them.
Bastion, you're saying
Oh my
Every day.
Bastion, you're focused on You're focused on one thing. Big Mom is selfish, but you're forgetting the only moments where they truly fear her is when she starts flipping out because she didn't get the thing she wanted.
Bang.
And those are just
That's not
circumstances.
true either.
From
But
half
but
court.
that's not true. That's not
court.
true. She literally sells them off at any moment. You can go, Pudding, you're 15, don't care. Go marry random stranger. Lola, if you don't acquiesce to my wishes, I will send your family members to kill you. Like, it's not just, it's Love and Peachy here because y'all listen to what I say and it's cool. She's terrible.
Bastion, I get you.
You can't live your own life
Bastion,
with her.
I get you, but Tyler, you know how inaccurate that is? Because the twin sister of her name.
Lola.
She's still alive, right? We know for a fact. She is.
Lionel,
Bastion,
she
no.
ran away.
She ran away, but if Big Mom really wanted to take her out, she would have found her in 2
She's
seconds.
randomly a zombie on some island.
Bastion, that does not matter. How strong the Big Mom pirates are,
Bro.
and their resources,
Bro.
They would have found her.
Big
and took her
Mom
out.
straight up said-
Bastion, Gekamora isn't doing nothing stopping Big Mom.
That's not the
And her
point.
crew.
The point is she's out there in the ocean
I
somewhere.
guess, but she's still living her life, is she
Seba-
not?
no,
The
Sebastian.
only reason why she was living Gekamora's crew trapped because she got her shadow
Sebastian.
taken away.
Big Mom wasn't just cool with
Sebastian.
her leaving.
Sebastian, case in point, right? Because they always talked about how good Big Mom's team is at gathering information and
Yeah.
finding out resources. They found out Sanji's hometown.
Yeah.
Yo.
How? Like, he grew up on a bratier, a restaurant ship. How they found that out? I don't know.
I can't speak to that. I can't actively speak to that. We didn't see how they got the panels, whatever.
Yeah.
I would say Judge probably fed them some information. I have another son. Look for him. He looks like this. Whatever. I don't know. What I am saying is, it's more. Maybe I guess how much of a detriment she is to their day-to-day life.
Yes.
Yeah,
Which is fair. I will acknowledge that.
Thank you.
But they live in constant fear of her, and they are manipulated by her every single day. They have
that's
to
true.
acquiesce to
That
what
is
she
true.
says. They can't live free, and they can't just leave. Y'all like, just
Bastion.
leave. You can't.
Bastion.
You will be out ostracized
you, but-
and probably sent after with
Bastion.
assassins.
No,
Who knows what was sent after Lola? Who knows?
Bastion.
Big Mom straight up said, Nami, yo, if I see that girl, she's dead. It's not.
I get you.
Okay,
But she's not
it'll
going
work
out of her way.
Yeah.
Like, she went out of her way after
We
Luffy.
don't. Hold on. We don't even know that she didn't go out of her way.
We saw her go after Luffy. She went out of
What
her way.
happened to Chiffon?
Big Mom dipped. Okay.
I'm saying.
But in that case, Big Mom went, I have more pressing things to do to deal with Luffy because of the shame that came to my crew. Who knows what she would do if she was like actually
To me-
loyal to
to me-
Paige and she was,
Like,
you know what I
Big
mean?
Mom showed she's scared and I mean terrified of her kids, but she never brings to the point where she's willing to take them out. She never how mad she
not
gets.
true.
Thank
She
you.
will- how mad she gets. She
I'll
does
tell you this
not
right now.
cross that line.
I'll
She
tell you
doesn't.
this
She
right
doesn't.
now. I'll tell
That's
you
a
right now.
mother's love.
If she was to line up all of these kids and she got full details that we got about what Pudding did to switch up, what Chiffon did to switch up, what Lola did to switch up, what Cat even did to switch up. What's the other one? Praline? The one that married Aladdin? They all switched up on her. The second they got any modicum of affection and love from their significant other, or even just respect, if they even reached a level of respect that matched the fear they had for Big Mom, they switched up. She's not just letting that slide. And she, as a captain of a pirate crew, she shouldn't. The fact that she's a parent, I don't know. She has her mothering mode. She's not looking at any of these grown-ass kids in that mothering mode. She's going to act with ruthlessness.
I'm telling you right now,
No, I
she
agree.
acted more to a mother to know her kids and how ruthless she is than Loki's mother to her.
That's a low bar. Bro.
It is.
That's the lowest bar possible.
I'm sorry, but that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
100%.
Oh man, listen, bro.
Yo, and she never went after Praline.
Yo, I don't know that she knew that he switched on her though. And again, she went. I got to deal with Luffy. Her whole focus was Luffy and them.
I feel like there's a lot of these circumstances you point out, but none of them have ever been taken out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, ever.
She gets mad, but she doesn't fear her word on her anger towards her kid. She lets it go, actually.
She be so y'all saying she fumbling. She would clip them kids. I believe that.
Yo, that's... But
maybe I'm wrong for believing that, but I believe that.
You have no evidence to support that.
But she said it. She would herself.
She's been able to beat her children,
Hold on.
for sure.
Okay.
But
Straight up. I'm asking y'all straight up.
She's never outright hurt them.
Big Mom and Lola
to
are in
that
a
extent.
room together. How is Big Mom conducting
She's
herself?
probably beating her.
Yeah.
That's it.
Did you think Lola's surviving?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I disagree.
Why?
But I'm taking Big Mom's statement wholesale. Y'all are taking it with a mothering
How many
aspect.
times has your pops threatened to
Kill me? Never.
Like,
Never. Not one time.
Like, I will say this, Sebastian.
You know what I'm saying?
We do have proof of this, though. That case where I was watching, and I thought Big Mom legit took out her son.
Yeah, Larry mentioned this earlier.
Yeah, right? But remember the threat. She got angry because of what he did, so she attacked him and did it, right? But it wasn't an extent for him to lose his life.
Wait, which instance are you talking about?
It goes against her character, bro.
The
The only reason wouldn't be for affection or love. It would be because it would weaken her
The
crew.
only time
That's
show
the only reason.
you gotta separate the idea of her losing her complete control over herself, which she's shown to eat people and not even realize she ate people.
Exactly.
Like, she goes into that mode. Yes, she's willing to hurt her kids,
Yeah.
but she's not knowledgeable of it.
What?
Outside of it, she's not hurting her kids.
What
bro,
I'm
to that
saying is,
extent.
but
she's not murking.
But the way that she utilizes them tells me that they're expendable to
who
her.
doesn't?
Yeah.
Who doesn't use their kids to some degree?
Yo.
Right?
Alright, man.
Who doesn't
They
use
said
their
I'm
kids to some
projecting
degree?
in the chat. I'm not projecting.
Oh, yeah. Like,
You know what I'm saying?
What was it?
No, even something simple like this. My fault, Lawrence. Even something like this. You be busy on a Sunday football.
Yeah.
And Ma hits you up like, yo,
Yeah.
come pick me up. Twins ain't doing nothing. Right? And then what you gotta do? Yo, Ma, I can't do this. She's like, yo, and then she guilt trips you, right? Sometimes. Yo, and then you gotta go and pick her up and miss half of the Giants game. Big Mom no different. She just ain't, yo, she not.
I want you to
make me my
Larry,
cake.
I want you to really
Make
think,
me my cake.
I want you
That's
to
it.
really think about what you just said. You made an analogy where Mama Hurley was compared to Charlotte Lindley.
No, she's not.
That's
nowhere
what
near
you
that.
did.
No, I'm not comparing her as two people. I'm saying the acts
I get you. I get what you're trying to say.
are like the same, bro.
But what I'm saying,
she's allowed to use her kids.
But what I'm saying is
they're your kids.
Y'all believe in that there's a threshold for Big Mom that she's not willing to cross with her kids. I personally don't believe that
But you're
threshold
proven
actually
wrong
exists.
because there's
and the
nothing
reason
that
why
says
I
it.
believe it is because none of them have actually left except Lola, and she's the only one that did. And how does Big Mom treat her? It's, yo, if I ever see her again, I'm going to kill her. That is, we have one example of someone that got out of the family.
Yo,
we have one example, and this is her reaction to
Yo,
it.
sometimes when you're emotional, you just talk
Nah,
ish.
bro, listen, bro.
And it don't be real.
Y'all telling me Big Mom got empty threats for these kids? Come on, that's not true.
Yo, I'ma beat you.
She didn't say
that's
beat,
it.
bro. She said it
She
up.
not murdering her kids, bro. It goes against her character. She's called Big Mom. She has motherly mode for a reason.
yeah.
There's no
legit-
reason she's gonna murk her kids. She'll murk their dads.
She's going to take her anger on her father.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
Obviously, they understand that their mom is mentally unstable.
yeah.
And she has these things that cause her to, like, you know, go crazy, right? But I also think there is part of a mental block because I think she's obviously a manipulative and an abusive mother. She will attack her kids, right? But I think there's also a mental block because I was for sure that when she took her son's
The soul.
souls,
Yeah.
his son was as good as dead.
Yeah,
But he would
I
have
thought-
been.
That's what I thought.
And that was outside of her
her
mind.
Yeah.
But that guy didn't even do anything to go against the family. He just didn't have the cake she wanted.
Yeah.
We're talking about, yo, I betrayed half the family betrayed the family whole cake. Like, actively, yo, I put my needs and what I want above you and the family, Mom. Straight up. She has yet to face that and been like, all right, I understand. You're my kid still. She's yet to have her Whitebeard squad moment. That has not happened. And I know for a fact y'all didn't think that's what's gonna happen with a little spanking. So, yo, she's meant to be looked at in this way, bro. Maybe I'm looking too deep into it, but I don't think we're supposed to see that.
I think you're not looking deep enough. I feel like you're very surface level when it comes to Big Mom because you don't like her.
I like Big Mom. I think she's well written even. What I'm saying is...
I know what you're saying.
I think she's well written because I view her in this way. If she is this more complex character that y'all are saying, I ain't see that on panel. I'm sorry. The only thing we have that suggests that is the mothering mode, and that's already
like you just
stark
missing,
difference from what she actually is like.
Beats in the story, bro.
No, we're not saying that she's not gonna like attack them because, like, for example, like obviously how Whitebeard approached Squatto after like the whole stabbing and everything. We all know that's not Big Mom. That's not what we're saying. Big Mom would never do that. Yeah. Since you attacked one, none of the sons would attack what we saw would attack Big Mom. You know, they haven't done it, right?
Listen, bro.
Because even like when she's going on a rampage, they don't even try to attack her. They try to appease the situation.
Yeah.
But that's because they know they can't win.
But
no, I'm saying right now, like if Cat and all the strongest, right? Because Pressure was actually a lot stronger than I thought. You have Cat and all them. If they try to they don't even try to fight her. Is what I mean is, they don't try to even harm her in any way. They just try to feed her, right? Showing that right here of how they view their mom, right? But even while they're being attacked by them. But the thing is, like, with Big Mom, even with that, is Big Mom still has never gone across the line. Even in that state, that's what we're talking about.
So y'all
she
saying
never crossed that line.
If there was examples of her murdering these kids, they would act differently. That's what y'all saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Because I was going to bring up, like, for instance, how Big Mom is. Like, even though, like, Big Mom is just terror, but she also really wants a peace and a family-oriented, like, environment. Like, for instance, remember when she smacked the bear? You remember the reason why she smacked the bear? Because they weren't getting along. Yeah. She used overpower and realized she ended up taking it out. But that's the way. If you're not doing what I want you, there's going to be repercussions. But she didn't want to take out that bear. She wanted that bear to live and get along with the other whatever creature that was happening. That's what Big Mom is. Like, she overdoes things, and she has a mental illness that she needs to take care of. But eventually she wants that peace-loving family things. And now you don't do what she says. That's when she... Like, either she does too much or she blacks out and goes on crazy Big Mom mode.
I'm going to tell y'all right now, man.
You know, what?
I agree with y'all to some degree. But if we was all kids under a Big Mom type mom, I'm crashing out and I need y'all to back me, bro. I need y'all to back me.
I will say, though, for the Lola thing, what is not a strong argument for the case. I don't know what Big Mom would do. That's why I haven't answered on it. Because how she responds to Chiffon. That Big Mom doesn't even want to look at her because of what Lola did.
She's terrible.
I will say that. Like, she can't see Big Mom. Like, she doesn't want to be around her because she gets so angry looking at that. So I don't know what Big Mom would do. I would like to
she still looks like her and never murked her.
Yeah.
Because she didn't betray her.
But also, did he also arrange the marriage for her, too?
Yeah.
Was that?
To Beige.
Chiffon did.
Oh, no.
At the end.
Oh. I don't know. No, she didn't. Oh, she tried to set her up with Loki.
Who?
Chiffon.
Yeah, supposedly. Yeah. And then Loki was able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
I just can't believe still that.
It doesn't make sense.
But again, we already said with Harold, so.
Hey, man, love is love. Number 2.
No, that's different.
What's different?
No, did Harold actually find her or whatever? Because we actually, over time, Harold tried to like her because her qualities.
He put a baby in her, bro.
But still, though, that, like, for instance, you could meet someone and, like, whatever, but the qualities make the person, like, besides their looks. We don't know if Harold found her attractive immediately. Just when he got to know her, that was a thing. You get me?
Hold on. He was already smitten early. Like, he got slapped and was like,
I'm going to hear you out.
Yeah, it was pretty early.
But that could just be, he doesn't hit women. He's a chivalrous guy.
Yo, hold on, yo. She's not that ugly, bro.
No, I guess to me, Big Mom's daughter is uglier than her. But my point is,
Beauty in the eye of the beholder, bro.
But huh?
Beauty in the eye of the beholder.
No, but my point is that they're saying we don't do we know that Loki got to know her personality to know like to fall in love if that's a thing because I don't.
Lola's
personality. I can say now.
Harold get to know her, then that's why.
And that's probably the point.
It wasn't immediate.
That's probably the point.
Lola's personality ain't that great either, though. It's not. It's not. But also, I'm just saying the big the contradiction is the purebred thing.
guys are crazy, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just being
Or
real.
it said Lola too. No higher.
He's like, both ain't working for
It's
him.
Lola. You feel me? Alright. Another 2 from Stanky Danky 760. Y'all's debates are the best. LMAO. Hashtag hug it out. You want to hug it out, bro?
No.
Alright.
No.
We gonna hug it out at the end of the episode, bro.
No, we not.
Another 4.
That's gonna be our picture, yeah.
Another
Clip.
No, bro.
Another 4 months at Knockout status from Fatty G's. It says, this is a lit episode with the fire emojis. Thank you. Another 19 months at Knockout status from Goatman Tees. It says, stop yelling at Sebi or I'm spoiling. Hashtag phone them. Yo, don't ever feel the need to defend me to that degree. I'm
crazy.
good. I'll be alright, bro.
That's crazy.
I'll be okay. Another 2 from Cyborg Frankie. It says, Seb, you need those glasses or are they purely aesthetic? These glasses are purely aesthetic. They're actually Meta Ray-Bans. But I do need glasses.
They have a camera on them?
Yeah.
You're a creep.
I'm a
You're a creep.
I'm a creep
bro.
because I got glasses that got camera. You can tell when the camera's on. It's not like it's a...
How can you tell when the camera's on?
It's on right now. No, I'm playing.
There's a red dot that comes
Is
up?
that a red dot?
Yeah, there's like it'll like flash or whatever.
Do you have to? Can you
Yeah.
touch it, or do you have to say?
Does it stay like that? Like, does it stay flashing?
I maybe put the music on.
Does it stay flashing when it's recording?
Yeah, if I record, it'll like have a little thing that shows it's recording.
Where you get to film and stuff.
What?
Like, it was recording. So, like, it didn't have to have
It's
images.
digital, Lionel.
What?
Oh, did he say?
He said, "Where do you get the film?" I'm like, "It's,
No,
it's
like,
digital, bro."
I know, but, like, where does it go? I mean, where does it go? I meant something else.
He's like, what are we in the 1940s?
I meant something different. I meant, like, when you take a picture, where does
It
the...
uploads to your phone via cloud.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Where's it connected to?
Yeah. Oh my
But
god.
to record, but to record, can you just touch it, or do you
You
have to
gotta
give
hold
it?
it for a sec. Like you hold it for a little bit.
we have to teach you this lesson, man?
All right, so you don't have to say a command for it to record.
Nah, I think you can, but
Yeah.
typically you hold it.
I bet. Okay, that's what.
Go into creep mode, Ray-Ban.
Come on, man. Chill out, chill out, chill out. All right, another 5 from Wade the Asian. Larry about to not answer nothing. He in a bad mood now. Hashtag bald man. That must have been earlier. Another 2 from Omar Omex. The guys with the white hat, I agree with you. Thank you. I think, yeah.
I'm guessing
Thank
he's
you.
new.
Yeah. I'm Seb, bro. Another 2 from NYC Anime Nerd. What's up, nerd? It says, episode 211. I was the last we ever heard of Top. Love y'all. What? What? Another 5 from Minimum Wage Mink. It says, Theory Dragon used his absent devil fruit in Loaktown to hide that he was sweating against East Blue Smoker. Hashtag law, please punish me. I'm a mink.
You read his name?
Yeah. Minimum wage mink.
So funny.
Another 9
Bruh.
New Zealand dollars from T-Dop. It says, yo guys, I love the pod, but this is frustrating. Seb, you wasting your breath, right? Larry don't want to listen. Love the pod. You shout out to you, the goats. Thank you. I mean, I'm pretty stubborn too. Another 7 from Colvin Creer. It says, sending in some hashtag Larry tax to cheer Larry up. Hashtag Seb gang. Still love you though, Larry. Thank you. They still love you though, bro. Another 5 from Slap Your Mama. Did Panda Man become a giant?
He did.
Yeah, he was sitting with the Giants. Now I think about it.
He looks big. Yeah.
He would have to have been giant size.
How?
Did Biblo make him giant?
Yeah, he's a mysterious.
I don't
He's
want
the
the
one
Panda Man fruit.
He's the one narrating, bro.
I was thinking the same thing.
He's the one narrating.
We got another 5 from Mikey D. Luffy. Little late, but Papa's here. All right, bro. Hey, Larry, Latina baddie or full head of hair. Hashtag living life like Larry. Hashtag law has no eyes.
Full head of hair.
I respect that. Another 5 from Wade the Asian, episode 211. Can't wait to watch later. And y'all was beefing. LOL. Hashtag Larry gotta be right. Hashtag Seb the Unk. Hashtag Law versus the Beast Pirates. He solos. Hashtag Lionel the part-timer. Thank you, Wade. Another 5 from Nimbus Jujubee. It is pretty much 100% that Blackbeard must have eaten a piece of Whitebeard to get his Devil Fruit, as we see with Big Mom and Mother Caramel.
That would be crazy.
I mean, I thought
we didn't see anything missing from Whitebeard when he took the cloak off of him. It could be a Deku thing with the hair. People have theorized that. People have theorized he ate his heart. People have gotten a little more perverse. I don't want to go there.
Come on, man.
But it's possible. I like to think that there's something different going on there. But it's possible.
Yeah.
Another 5 from Alex Perez. My logic. Mr. Two's real name is Bentham, and many CDs have that ham suffix in their last name, like Killingham, for example. Okay. I just don't have. That's not enough to go on. I'm sorry, to me anyway, Alex.
What's his name again?
It's Bentham. Like,
Oh.
yeah. I would need more. I would need a little bit more juice there for me, and I'm the 1% theory guy. So I feel like Bon Clay's kind of served the narrative purpose for the story as best as he can at this point. I don't know that we're getting another secondary backstory where it's like y'all was actually a Celestial Dragon family member, and I don't know that we're doing all that for Bon Clay. We kind of got. I think you've maxed out what you could do with a side character there,
Right.
outside of just bringing them back to have a reunion / help with the war at the end. I could be wrong. Maybe that's why I'm not an author, but I don't know that we're getting extra from Bon Clay.
Yeah, I agree.
Another 14 months at Nakama status from Young Lou. It says 14 months with the gang. Hashtag busted open for a player. Another 8 from Jalen. It says Larry and the twins gonna write my darling Seb apology letters when Blackbeard has a great showing against Luffy with an amazing fight at their peaks. Hashtag white tax. Ah, man, they not writing me nothing. I can tell you that. At this point, I just gotta hope that fight happens before he gets like another Devil Fruit, which sucks because I want him to get another Devil Fruit. Or for him to have like Conqueror's Haki or something. I don't know. Another 10 from Spencer Jones. Just because it's a break week and we got free time, y'all ever get in a fist fight with each other before? Hashtag Rob sends his W2s on napkins. Oh man. I definitely hooked off on Lawrence once, and he embarrassed me because he didn't even react. So, Lawrence and Lionel have fought before, for real, if I remember correctly. Larry's never fought any of us, to that degree anyway. They've boxed, though. We've like all boxed, put the gloves on, and boxed.
I never boxed Larry.
No, I never boxed Lionel.
Oh, okay.
I always wanted to.
Yeah. And Larry looks at me as too much like a younger brother to hit me, for real. That's why I be testing him.
I've boxed Lawrence. And even then, Lawrence didn't want to box me, so he wasn't really boxing.
Yeah, I don't like attacking my friends.
Meanwhile, Lionel and Anthony were fighting almost every day. Every day. Lionel would literally go to Aaron's house and literally box him every single day. And I was just like, bro, what is going on? Like, what are y'all training for?
Good times, man.
Yeah.
Number 5 from That Ain't A. You guys open to reacting to different anime episodes like the newly animated Gachia Kuta. Hashtag Lucci versus Sommers.
We'd have to talk about it.
Yeah, we'd have to talk about it. I heard it's good. I heard it's good.
What's the anime?
Gachia Kucha. I think, Kuta. Sorry. Probably saying that wrong.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, it's about trash. Another 2 from Smooth Weave. It says, will Luffy get a power-up in Gear 5 Under the Sun?
No.
Like Superman?
Yeah, like the sun is giving
You know what hell he might, man. Oda be wild. I keep trying to tell you, Oda be wild.
Well, like,
solar powered Luffy.
but he's been under the sun. Wait, now
He was in.
Gear.
He was on Egghead. It was sunny out or whatever, but he was in the lab. The only time we saw him outside, he basically tossed a Gorosei member out of the way. And then at night, he was fighting Kaido under the moon. So if they go up into the whatever realm, like he would be in the actual sunlight or whatever. I don't know if I subscribe, but yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Me either.
I think it's more symbolic.
Yeah. Another 5 from SC615. Come on, Seb. I was with you this episode. Mother effing old man Garp clears Marineford. Oh, Marineford old man Garp clears Marineford old man Whitebeard. Gurgur Glaze is on par with Rock's Glaze. Y'all just some stands. I be glazing. I ain't gonna lie. I be wilding sometimes. And yeah, I'm not mad at the Garp over Whitebeard, but I like to respect the old guy, man. He was dealing with more than Garp was dealing with personally. He had more on his side too, but whatever. Another 5 from Alex Perez. Hot take: Emu is the snake of the Garden of Eden, and Adam and Eve the Adam and Eve tree were once giants that were turned into trees, like the whale tree on Zoe. How they get separated? I guess that doesn't really matter.
The whale tree?
Yeah, there's the tree on Zoe that's like a whale. That's where Raizo was being hidden with the poneglyph.
But you said it got turned into a tree.
Not that.
Oh.
Yeah, they're saying like that tree, which is very possible that whale was originally a whale and now it's a tree. But I don't know. Based off this theory that you can turn people into trees.
So they were giants before, then they turned into trees.
They had to have been Onigashima skull held like type giants to be that big, right? Like the Adam tree goes all the way down to, or at least we assume it. I mean the Eve tree. Which one is the tree that goes down to Fishman Island?
Was it Crow?
That's the Eve tree.
Eve tree, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like that's too large to just be like a giant. Like it'd have to be well beyond that. So Onigashima skull, but even that is like not big enough for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Emu, I mean, so the snake was actually a real snake, but the devil, manipulated it with using pretty much like how you think of a puppet. It used the snake to do its bidding or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, the serpent or anything represented or represents Satan. So if you try to say Emu is basically the devil, then
Well, to me, I think Oda represented the devil in 3 different people.
Mhm.
To me,
Yeah.
it's Doflamingo,
Definitely
Kaido, and Emu in different ways and different forms. Like Kaido actually being the original serpent, the original dragon. Even like I even talked to even how I was supposed to bring up. I was going to make a video. I think about it, making all the connections of One Piece to the biblical aspect of the Bible. Like even how if you think about how Kaido got taken out by Luffy. When he got hit from the air and got sent to a pit of lava, if you read the Book of Revelation, Satan is cast down from heaven or from the earth and thrown in the pit of what's it called? Fire and sulfur.
Yeah.
Pretty much, Oda's fire and sulfur is a pit of lava. Like that's how Satan gets taken out later on in Revelation. And he gets pinned. The fire and sulfur in the Bible is symbolic. It's because fire can't actually hurt a spirit creature, but that's saying that it's supposed to mean the permanent, death or destruction for the spirit creatures. And I thought it was whether Oda did look at the Book of Revelation, it did that. But I find it interesting that you had a dragon type serpent Oni type of thing, and he gets hit from from the sky and from the air by the symbolic pirate Jesus. And he lands to, again, I'm going by what people had canon, what people saying, it gets hit in the pit of fire or lava. Yeah. And I'm thinking, I really saw the Book of Revelation. I'm thinking, again, I'm not saying Oda's taking a lot from the Bible, but I just see certain things, whether he's doing it or not. But again, and how Doflamingo is called the Heavenly Demon, manipulating the world, and that foreshadowing Emu, to me, those are the 4 Satan type aspects of the rule of the world and what they're doing, terrorizing the One Piece citizens. It's literally the devil, but Oda did it in 3 different phases. Yeah. Doflamingo, Kaido, and Emu.
Yeah, because also too, the Bible also mentions that Satan the devil is the ruler of this world. Yeah. The Bible mentions that. And you think of how Doflamingo and how Emu is legit the ruler of the world government. He's the king that's at the top. Satan is the ruler of this world. That's what the Bible teaches. So representing that, there's a lot actually. And also too, Oda be throwing some stuff that doesn't have to do anything, but what do you call them? Vegapunk's pacifistas, right? He calls them the seraphim, which are pretty much the Bible. They're called angels, So there's a lot Oda has took from the Bible.
Yeah. Maybe one of these days I might try to make a video of it, but we'll see. It's going to be a lot, but not to go through the whole One Piece series again.
If you need help with it, let me know.
All right.
We got another 2 from Smooth Weeb. It says Toki sent the One Piece 800 years into the future. Like the treasure itself?
Mm-mm.
I don't know about that one, dog.
Like the island? It would have to be the island because I feel like Laughtale, all of it is the One Piece. You know, the whole island, it makes up everything. What, the history, the treasure, all of it.
We gonna see. Another 10 months at Nakama Stash from Nika Dakota. Is Loki gonna put in work and show out eventually? For sure.
Yeah.
I'd be tight if he's been hyped up to this degree and he doesn't do anything. Another 5 from Kirby. It says one thing about the Straw Hats you would change. # like the stream.
I think we all have an agreement.
What?
Usopp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Agreement on what?
Usopp's character.
Yeah.
Oh, to like make him like not scared anymore?
Yeah, man, not make him a coward.
more than what he
Yeah,
is.
okay,
Actually.
yeah. I mean, I kind of like Scary Usopp a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, he's funny to me. But yeah, that would probably be the one.
Hey.
Maybe less Sanji perv gags. Just it's funny sometimes. Another 5 from Pastor C. Can Blackbeard beat Kid Loki? Is Blackbeard really out here losing to kids? LOL. Y'all know how I feel, bro. Go ahead. Y'all do y'all the thing y'all do, man. Go ahead, man.
Wait, you talking about Kid Loki?
Baby Kid Loki.
The one that the rock.
The one that rock stab. Go ahead. Go ahead, man. Do y'all thing. That's why he's super chatty.
Blackbeard should win. He should win.
Can Blackbeard survive that fall?
There's a lot of people who could beat baby Loki and survive that fall, bro.
You said can't?
Or wouldn't survive that fall.
Like, from the sun world to the underworld, would he survive the fall?
He human. Oh.
I was actually comparing it. Do you think it's the same height that Kaido fell from?
Probably farther.
Yeah?
Should be further.
Yeah, it should be further.
Because
I mean, I don't know. Who knows? But
That's crazy.
Because it's Elbaf.
it's at least comparable.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I immediately thought of that. Like, I thought of the comparison with Kaido and Loki.
So we have a durability line.
Bro, he
right?
getting body, bro. It's an infant. Well, he said
No, I'm saying
baby Loki or Kid Loki? What are you saying? Kid Loki?
Because he's stronger than...
Either way, Blackbeard's winning.
Well, I'm just setting the bar. Right? The bar is I was just born 2 minutes ago. And I fell from the sun world to the underworld and survived and was able to climb back up, sort of. Can Blackbeard do that?
He wouldn't be able to do that. Physically,
All right, so durability-wise, we already have something stronger as a 2-year-old baby.
Okay.
I mean, 2-minute-year-old baby than Blackbeard.
Sure thing.
All right, so durability goes to... And then we're saying Loki, as a
Yeah,
child...
the one that got stabbed by
has a
rocks.
Kanabo now.
Uh-huh.
And he was taking out animals the size of... what Luffy had to go Gear 4 for.
Uh-huh.
I got Blackbeard extreme diff. Extreme diff.
Yo, yeah. So
Yo, I'm serious, bro.
Extreme.
Extreme.
Blackbeard, no different, bro.
Yo,
Easy work, man. Get that kid out of here. You durable.
extreme diff.
Gurrs to
Blackbeard.
the face, bro. Gurrs all day.
How many do you think he could take?
Probably a couple. He's pretty durable. I act like he can't take some.
So, I do want
pretty-
I really want to know
strong, man.
Warrington Mato's answer.
So the thing is, right? Just to put things in perspective, right? And we all know this was a no contest, but I was shocked when I saw Luffy hockey harden against Colin. And this is Colin we're talking about, not Loki.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But to block the thing, he used hockey harden to block. And that's where I realized, you know, it's not like fighting normal kids. You know? Is they don't view him as normal kids. Because, like, even Zoro said when they're attacking it.
Laura's giving...
He giving Elbow people some gas?
Yeah.
Is this
Only from what they're showing.
happening right now?
No, because, like, to me, I would have thought Luffy wouldn't need Hockey Harden to block that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, you're Luffy. Why are you using Hockey Harden to block
And
this thing?
you're using that as a base for what Loki is probably like 100 times.
Yeah, exactly. This is Colin. Like, because Luffy also, no contest him. Loki's obviously, they said naturally, any other giant
Yeah,
is stronger.
It's really 50-50 right now on this split. Yeah,
so
No,
I
I Blackbeard should win this. 'Cause
But
it's just
how much though?
No, it's gonna be tough. Because
You talking about Blackbeard now?
Blackbeard right now versus Kid Loki that got poked up by rocks. This is so disrespectful. I hate y'all, yo.
Yo,
Y'all want me to crash out so bad.
I
bro.
get you, but the thing is, if you're going by what Oda's saying and showing us, all right? Luffy had to go gear.
Oh my god.
Luffy had to go gear Haki hardening. I think gear 5th too, right? To hit Colin. Am I wrong?
No, he didn't go gear.
No, he don't need
fifth,
gears.
bro.
He just want to use Haki armor.
Also, Luffy don't need to go gear 5th 90% of the time. He just be doing it.
My point is, like, if Colin, like, to us, Colin is maybe 8 or whatever, but he's 20 in human years, or give or take, I forget, I don't know. That means is he the strength of that person or doubled? Because for instance, if Loki is a baby, but he is the strength of something, because we saw, like, it's small, but we saw a booger get flicked and it's taken out a shark.
Yeah.
So that just adds the power strength of a
That
giant.
was like a 15-year-old Harold.
But you get what I'm saying?
So a booger though, like that's ridiculous.
But that shows, like, because I'm pretty sure when didn't Loki fall again and he landed on some animals and he took them out too.
That's what Larry brought out. Yeah.
So it's like that their strength and durability is just abnormally high, like especially ancient giants. Because if you go by regular
right now.
giants, what happened? You right?
I'm good.
No, they're stronger than Oars to me.
Yeah.
Like Harold and Loki.
Yeah, they're definitely stronger than
The Oars is like no contest. We saw Oars getting dealt light.
Alright, so y'all saying extreme diff Blackbeard or not?
Because if you go by that, because it's hard to gauge. Because Colin is not stronger than Loki.
I hate y'all
Because
so much.
Colin is half human and half giant. Well, Loki is full on giant, ancient, with that blood.
This
whatever.
might be too disrespectful, right? But like you know how ACoC is a kid, right? So we saw how Blackbeard
I
responded to
hate
that. Can we link that Kid
I hate
Loki?
y'all so much,
is-
bro.
Is he around?
ACoC would be Kid Loki too.
You don't know that.
Yo,
Oh my
would he?
God,
You
bro.
don't
I
know
hate
that.
y'all
Nah,
so
would
much,
he?
bro. I hate y'all so
Let's
much.
be real, bro. Would
You
he?
don't know that, bro.
If ACoC can't be Kid Loki, Vegapunk's a failure.
But you don't know how strong
I
Loki is
mean
now.
that. I mean that, bro.
You don't know how.
I
but
mean
you,
that.
Yeah, but you don't know how strong Loki is now.
No, he's true.
Someone Kid Loki. Y'all talking about Kid
Because I
Loki?
was saying this. Kid Loki's gonna have no hockey to get
what I'm saying.
through.
We don't know.
the Lunarian D&D, Lionel. What you need conquerors?
We don't know. Look at it. We don't like for instance, the fact that look. Again, put this in. We've seen people use hockey as a child. Yamato, Kaite, and Doflamingo. They did use hockey.
Yes.
Some of them just did it, and ace. But
Yeah.
some of them in dire situations. Loki's in the most dangerous, dire, and more weakened state he ever been. Born wise, he just got born and he's fighting monsters. He's not so like he's already got beat up. We don't know if he lacked his hockey from a big infant and started using it and fighting it.
Hockey,
we don't know.
hockey is
That's
fine.
true, bro.
No, but hockey is fine.
That was-
But you need conquerors for Lunarians.
No, but
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we don't. For instance, like going on knowledge, Loki could have been the earliest hockey awakening person in the show.
true.
And
Yeah.
he had to use hockey to survive those moments.
Yeah.
The fact he's a baby. So we can't say that he wasn't using hockey in those moments because we already seen people using hockey as a kid. And we said the youngest we've seen it utilizing it regularly is, I can't say Odin proficiently mastered because he was 18 or 19. But wait, who's the youngest hockey user we've seen using it like hockey hardening wise? Who's the youngest? Like actually using it
It would
regularly?
be Odin.
No, what about Kobe actually?
Oh, you mean just hockey overall?
Just hockey hardening, period?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know, man.
I don't know, bro.
Kobe's probably the answer.
Probably Luffy.
How old is Kobe right now? I don't even know.
Is he the same age as Chopper? Is he 6?
I legitimately have no
He's
idea.
no, I know he's younger than Luffy. He's younger
Yeah.
than Luffy.
But hold on. I get what Lionel's saying. That the potential for this dude's growth is astronomical. Just because as a baby, you were just born, and then you go into this underworld, it's freezing cold, nobody's there to take care of you. These animals are not going to give you food.
You're saying he
so how
unlocked
do you...
like Conqueror's hockey in that moment?
No, how did he fend for himself at
Exactly.
that age? He was able to even have the
So disrespectful.
the IQ level at that point to climb
Yeah.
back up because that he figured out, that's where I'm from. So he was already conscious enough to know that. So it's like, you go on, you continue living, and you continue fighting all these animals because they can't beat you, even though he thought Luffy would fall to them. And then all of a sudden, it's like, bam, Conqueror's hockey. I could probably submit these fools so they don't mess with me anymore. Like, at a certain point, that probably happened, and then he picked up a Kanabo and just started wailing. And then was just like, I know how to fight. And think about it. I think he was at, a training ground when Rocks and Whitebeard pulled up,
Yeah.
he was known to be fighting other giants.
We saw
So it's like,
same with Hadruden.
yo, I be training too, and nobody could really beat me. And if you think about it, he had more potential than Big Mom at 8 years old, and 8-year-old Big Mom took out the giants with relative ease.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, if he's much stronger, much more durable, and he's only getting stronger as he gets older, he beats a Seraphim, bro. Like, he's been utilizing Conqueror's Haki for a long time. I want to hear a possibility, man.
Yeah, you know all these possibilities, 1% or whatever. But we're just going by the growth we're seeing of a giant. Again, remember, he's from a warrior, like with the Saiyans, he's from a warrior race, technically. And it's ancient giant blood.
Yo,
if Blackbeard pull up on him, Frieza just showed up, man. It's over.
I'm gonna be real, yo. Loki in 3.
Oh my god.
It ain't even gonna reach game 4.
So you switching? You're going off the Blackbeard stream? You going Loki? All right, man.
I'm going Loki against Blackbeard right now, as a kid.
All right. So, man.
Sorry, bro. Loki breaking the metal gate at Marineford at that age?
No. Another 5 from MF Teach. It says, how many bears do you think Lawrence and Takamura could take back to back? Oh. Accidentally deleted a super chat. Damn, I don't know how to do that. How do I undo that? Oh my god. Yo, Benjamin Blickman, I'm so sorry. I accidentally deleted your super chat, bro.
Marv should be able to see it.
Yo, Mark, can you see it? Oh my god. How do I undelete it?
Who sent it?
Benjamin Blickman. Yo, Blickman, can you comment what you said? And mods, can y'all ping me? You don't have to super chat again. Just comment it, and then I'll read it. Or somebody, if you guys can remember what it was. Sorry, I'm so sorry, bro. Accident. Another 5 from Pastor C. It says, who y'all got a crash out Kuma versus Big Mom? Also, do you think Kuma can push Big Mom's souls out of her homies? Well, 1, I have Big Mom. And 2,
Big Mom.
Yeah.
I do think she can do that. I mean, he could do that.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be enough to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She hit too hard, bro. She got too much going on. Another 5 from Tucky Neutron. It says, I seen a theory that portrays Garling as Fenrir and Shanks/Shamrock as his sons Skull and Haiti. One chases the moon, one chases the sun. This is from Norse mythology. I've seen that theory before. I think someone's commented it here before as well.
Yeah.
And nobody got Ben's theory, man? Nobody got Ben's super chat, bro? I think there's a way I can get it. I just have to leave the stream in a different way. But circle back to that. Another 2 from Emerald Starlight 22. Love from San Diego, California. Got 2 Latinas waiting for y'all. You up, bro? You winning. Another 5 from Kenpachi Zaraki. Guys, it's been 19 years. I'm watching One Piece. I'm really enjoying your live. Love you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it hasn't been that long for me, but it's been close. It's been, how many years has it been for us? 2011? We started watching? Well, we started watching One Piece.
2011.
Yeah, like 10 or 11, yeah. Y'all were earlier than us, though.
No, I was in high school and I started.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it was like 2008 for y'all.
Yeah.
I don't know. Another 5 from Alex Perez. Loki is that friend from Ippo that only dates fugly chicks. Aoki.
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 Oh, man.
Terrible.
It's like also disrespectful because Aoki's so weak.
Yeah.
He only weak because he's inside the box. He'd be literally anything else.
Yo, yeah.
Another Yonko joined the ship in Kyber Corporate. Thank you so much. Enjoy all the emojis that come with being a Yonko. Another 280 Canadian from Jonathan Keys. It says, ducking spoilers left and right. Y'all stay safe. I'm trying, man. Trying. Another 2. Spoilers out so early.
Yeah,
It's Monday. Another 2 from Lucky Roo. What's the worst job y'all ever worked at? And why? Well, one, the money would be why.
Yeah.
I know mine.
I don't really have a worst
I
job.
think I know mine.
I've enjoyed most of my jobs, to be
I
honest
know
with you.
Lawrence's. It was that spot with that Jamaican lady as our boss.
I was thinking
Excelsior?
Catering.
Excelsior.
Yeah, she pissed you off.
What was her name? Emily? So no.
Nah, it
No,
wasn't.
Debbie, wasn't it?
Debbie.
Debbie,
It was
yeah.
Debbie.
freaking Debbie.
I didn't work
She was
there
crazy.
specifically
Yo,
because y'all told me so
nuts.
many stories, bro.
Yeah.
She was bad,
I
bro.
feel like
Me,
you would
Charles, and Lawrence worked there. Terrible.
Oh man.
Mine's had to be when I was first living with you guys, and I would leave for work at 9, and then I would go work at Target as overnight. And that was terrible because I used to be tired, and they used to yell at us to hurry up and like put the boxes out, and I was just like, yo, F this job, dog. And I remember I got fired because they said I was too slow.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, it
The
was
Target?
bad. Yeah, I was doing that for like, I think 2 months.
I remember you working at Target.
Yeah,
I remember that.
and I'd come back at like 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning.
It's not showing in
I don't like Target.
Yeah, I don't
the
know,
other
bro.
view either, bro. I'm so sorry, Benjamin Bookman,
Yeah,
bro.
it was tough, man.
I feel bad.
You got one, Lionel?
Yeah, I used to be a valet for a company. Hated that job. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was because it's bad experience.
Yeah.
I've been blessed to have pretty good jobs. Larry's my boss for a while there. That was a good job. That was fun.
Yeah, it was
Cool to work together like that.
That's cool.
And my job now is pretty cool. It's just tiring sometimes. All right, we got another 20 from Shay, our girl, Shay Pay Girl.
Shay. What up, Shay?
It says,
Thank you.
"Hey guys, glad I got the chance to catch one of your lives. Keep up the good work," with a smiling emoji. Thank you so much, Shay. Y'all aren't familiar. This is Shay from the Life with Anime podcast. She's like a moderator for them and their Discord and their streams. She's awesome.
Yeah,
we met her in
she's
person a
pretty
few
cool.
times. She's so nice to us.
Yeah,
she
she's
hates
really
Larry
nice.
though. So the other two from Bonnex.
Why would he say that?
Okay.
It says,
You need help, bro.
Ida asked to see the baby. Stepmom from day one. yeah. Oh man. Another two from
That's so
Lucky Roo.
wild.
It says Pre-Wano Zoro is beating Post-Wano Sanji. I disagree. I heavily disagree. But yeah,
Post-Wano Sanji.
That's a good fight. It's a
I
good
think
fight.
I still got Zoro.
I think I still got Zoro too.
y'all tripping, bro.
No, I think I got Sanji.
Y'all tripping, bro.
It's Wano.
Y'all
It's not like
tripping.
You said
bro. Pre-Wano,
I
bro.
know.
Pre-Wano.
I know.
Pre-Wano.
Yeah, I think I got Zoro still.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sanji.
tripping.
Because I don't think Zoro's gonna need conquerors to beat Sanji. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's true too. I don't think he needs Conquerors in order to be Sanji.
I do agree because I haven't seen Sanji get hit with a hockey attack like that. And from with his new generation, like, you know.
Queen didn't even use hockey.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
He
I
used
don't-
he used hockey like once or
Once.
twice,
The
and that
block
was
it.
it.
Yeah, the block.
that was
So
just
I
it.
do give
Yeah.
that. After see Sanji get hit with a hockey attack.
Y'all been baiting me all day, bro.
You know what's crazy? Zoro was out here cutting Pika the size of an island,
Yeah.
and it was relatively easy for him.
Yeah.
Is Sanji taking that type of sword attack to the?
I don't with
the
his
chest?
new. I don't know with his
Yeah.
new. I don't know. I actually don't know.
Bro, he getting cut in half, bro.
I have to wait and see.
Like,
Honestly.
he was getting bent from
I'm
lesser
gonna say-
attacks.
I'm gonna say- I'm
You know
gonna-
what I'm saying?
But no, we did. But Queen didn't give light. He didn't say if he was just gassing himself up or whatever. He didn't say that. But you can say it's different, and it's an attack besides a defense. Queen didn't say he did crush bones of hockey hardening masters, and Sanji got crushed, and he was able to put himself back together. But I know it's not an
Can
attack.
you put yourself back together when your leg is over there?
Yeah.
But I get you.
Yeah.
Like if your leg is sliced off.
You're
I'm
talking
just
about
saying,
blunt attacks versus slicing attacks. That's cutting mountains. Stone mountains. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I'm serious, bro. You know what? Yeah, I got Zoro for
I got
sure.
Zoro. I got Zoro, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying
All right, another thank you, Lionel. Another 10 from Nate. It says, "Yo, what's up with y'all boys? I'm curious where all of you stand on all Marines are evil conversation. This includes Kobe, Fuji, Smoker, etc. Been seeing the discourse on Twitter/TikTok. I don't believe all Marines are evil.
Yeah.
How could you believe all the Marines are evil?
Their point is that they're willing to work for this nebulous evil organization on some degree. It's like if people who say all cops are evil or all cops are bad, like
It's a tough conversation.
Yeah.
No, I understand that. If you know the world government is evil, you choose to work for them. Yeah, but that's where the whole belief for what they believe. You got to understand them. If they believe, no, we could change it from the inside, because they're recognizing, how do you change it? Obviously, Dragon chose to change it from the outside. He left the Marines to do so. they're like, no, we could change from the inside.
Hold on.
Because like you legit have a rebel in the world government in Garp. Like part of their job is to serve the world government, and Garp is literally choosing not to do so. And he's standing like, like I'm not protecting them. Like,
Right.
I'm not gonna protect them at all.
Well, I agree with some of what you're saying. It's deeper than that because there's also the idea that there's a lot of them that aren't actively trying to make change in the Marines, but they're fighting against the pirates that are out there because I didn't realize so many people have this view, right? But like maybe Oda hasn't done a good enough job to show you the average evil nature of the pirates of the One Piece world.
Yeah.
The Straw Hats are one of the very rare exceptions. Mm-hmm. Most pirates would do what the Yonko do if they could.
Yeah.
The majority of them will do the evil enslaving and taking and looting and pillaging and all the things that we see from the worst pirates. They would do that. The average pirate does those things just on a town-to-town, person-to-person basis. Yeah. So the Marines, as a existence, their job is to stop that from happening. Yeah. So if you want to be a part of an organization that's going to prevent that, you have to then deal with the fact that the other sides of it is that they work for the world government and this higher class of people. Yeah. Now, some people aren't willing to become outlaws themselves, like the revolutionaries, to try to make other more meaningful change. So you go into this, okay, I'll be a Marine because it's the best option available to me. There's also other people that are just actually evil in the Marines. So to me, I don't believe you can put a wide blanket on anybody in the Marines in that way. If you want to say being a part of these organizations and not actively trying to make change means that you're evil, that gets into the all man is evil on some degree kind of scope, and I don't think that's the point of the conversation. So to me anyway, no, I don't think all Marines are evil. I do believe that there are evil Marines, and being a Marine doesn't innately make you an evil person because you're part of a terrible organization.
Yeah.
Like the company I work for probably doing evil stuff. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't speak to all the actions that the company that I work for has done across the entirety of its existence. So I don't know, but it is much worse in the One Piece scale.
And if you use the resources that they're giving you for good, does that make you evil? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Because I was thinking of, like, for instance, like Kobe, the reason why Kobe joined the Marines to end Garp and other people is to carry out justice. And the Marines are the only authority in One Piece that actually carry out justice. They have a whole structure or organization to carry out justice. While people obviously have their own agenda, their own idea of justice, unfortunately, that's not actual real justice or pure justice or, like, because people actually have their own view of justice. Well, and they use that power to, like, for instance, influence to do some good as they can. Like we have people like Fujitora, Kobe, and Smoker who believe in justice and what is doing what is right. And the only system that they could use and work with is the world government. If they had another system that they could go to that doesn't involve all that what the world government brings, of course they would join that. But that's the only system they have the authority to do so. How well would it work for them? I want to start carrying out my own justice in my own way. Even though you could be right and you're doing a better job, it's not going to last long. You don't have the resources, you don't have the funds, you don't have the power, you're alone. And you're doing this stuff, you're going to be by yourself unless you get a small group following, but you're just going to be another dragon. You're just going to be a smaller version of dragon, honestly. And how long that's going to last? The world government can take you out. It took years and years to get to where Dragon's at. And he's still chipping at the surface of what the world government has established. Mm-hmm. So, like, for them, like, you have to work what you got right now, and if you could change something inside or become a revolutionary. Honestly, that's your two options. Either build your own organization, which, again, you need a lot of resources, a lot of funds to do, which not many people have. We've seen what Dragons do. He didn't have that. He doesn't have that. But we did. He was a Marine. At least he had got training in that, and he's training other people. For you have to start somewhere. Like, unless you have the means to do it, then you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. I think working for an evil organization doesn't automatically make you evil, but staying silent or benefiting from it while knowing the truth can lead you down the wrong path. And I think it really matters, the choices you make afterwards. Knowing that truth will define your moral standing. So it's like why I get on Garp so bad, because Garp knows the truth to an extent, and this is the reason why I think so lowly of him is because he decided not to make any change, but instead decided to stay within it and complain about it.
Yeah.
That was big for me. Does it make people like Kobe evil? I do not think that Kobe knows the entire truth, therefore he doesn't have any choice to make. I think the furthest he's ever gone in knowing the truth is that Akainu ended up murking some Marines. And even then, he tried to turn it around and become like an admiral. And he doesn't do it himself. I think people like Sengoku, who literally stood where the Gorosei were at one point, letting the world know that an era of babies were to be massacred on the chance it could be the Pirate King's kid, was an evil act, and any Marines who knew of it and decided to stay with the world government and not change the inside of the Marines and benefited from it also should receive that stamp of disapproval of saying that they're good people. But I think sometimes too it goes into the point of where it's usually survival versus obligation. And I don't know if I'm using the correct term of obligation, but just being able to survive. Most people who join the Marines are not looking for a way to change the world, but they're looking for a way just to survive in the world. They don't have a place because their kingdom either wasn't, it was too affected by heavenly tributes and crime, and it led to them living a bad life, so they found refuge and being with the world government or the Marines or becoming, this happens in real life too. So it's like, or they literally took the Kobe route where we're saying, hey, I'm going to go to the Marines, but I'm also going to change the Marines because of what I've seen from Marines when I was first experiencing them. And I think that's a huge difference too in where you gauge a certain person while they're in an organization. And then and then we have the Aokiji versus Akainu fight. Aokiji doesn't like the way the world government will turn out, therefore he couldn't change the inside, so he left it. Which you can determine, does that make him a good person for leaving people across the world without somebody in the organization to now change it? So the conversation could get really, really deep, but it really depends on your intent and also your circumstances. Mm-hmm. And the choices you make afterwards of learning the truth while being in this organization. And that happens with any organization. If you find something being done wrongfully so, and you're not willing to challenge it and change it, then that falls upon you and your morality.
I actually got a question for you guys now, because you got me thinking. Let's say, because you bring up Garp and he know the truth, and I was even thinking about his strength level, his strength level, knowing what he knows. I said, do you think if Garp joined Dragon and he started making their own Marines and world power, their own Marines and world government type of aspect, and he got the good ones, like he got Kobe, he got Smoker, he got Fujitora, he got I think I had somebody else. He got Aokiji, the ones who have similar views that they got, and they able to get them with Dragon and his team. Do you think they could with Dragon, with his army, with Garp, and the ones I just said, with the ones I know that are good in the Marines, who actually want to fight for justice for the people, and who hate and disagree with the wicked stuff that the world government be doing? I don't know if Sengoku's in that right or not. I have no idea. I'm back and forth.
He's on the side of the government.
Yeah, I know he does have disagreements, but I think he's more leaning to the government side. Granted, he did want Aokiji to be fleet admiral and not Akainu. So that's why I'm he's mixture. He's on tiptoeing on both sides. He's not making a full commitment either.
Yeah.
So I don't know about Sengoku, but do you think with what I just said with them facing the Marines and the world government, do you think they have a chance?
No.
Still no.
It's too much.
What with the Marines though? Just to find the Marines.
Yeah. I don't think. Would they have a chance? I don't know, man. I couldn't say. There's so many people on the back burner to become admirals that I think that they would still have a hard time trying to beat them out. And then, they still got the Seraphim and they still got the Pacifistas to deal with at that point, right? So they would have a hard time either way. But I think I thought you were gonna go in a different direction, where like they take out the Marines and supplant them. I thought you were gonna say that.
But appreciate the 10, Nate. We got another 5 from Benjamin Blickman. Thank you for donating again, man. Sorry that I deleted your super chat. I don't know how that happened. It says, Larry hating Garp doesn't make sense. Larry, you're a celestial dragon. Y'all on the same side. Hashtag Seb set me up. Hashtag pumping into Whitebeard. Hashtag
That's crazy.
Larry
Stop.
tax times 2.
I didn't mean it like
Yo,
that.
you was wildin', bro. But thank you, Benjamin Blickman. I apologize again. Another 10 from Samuel White. Forget next Nakama. I want Loki to be Luffy's Whitebeard. What other pirates besides Shanks can actually fight Luffy on that level? See, yeah, we got all that like Luffy's Whitebeard stuff with like Kid and Katakuri. This is the first time I'm seeing somebody that more emulates that to me anyway.
So Luffy's Roger.
Yeah.
Then Loki's Whitebeard's. Luffy's Whitebeard.
At least just in strength anyway. Somebody that will look at him as an equal. Luffy might look at him as an equal. The best other option would be Zoro, but that's not the dynamic they have. So, but yeah, we got another 3 from Jalen. It says Stronger hates to see Law coming. Hashtag business. Stronger is Blackbeard's horse. Well, not Blackbeard's horse.
Doc
Q's horse. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's all the super chats. So I know you said you wanted to do.
No, we're not doing it.
All right, so we'll do the phone calls then.
Yeah, phone calls.
All right, so I do have a list of 4 people. Maybe we can get to more. For whatever reason, only 4 are in the call waiting room, and only 4 opened up the gateway, the giveaway. So, all right, we do have our list though. I did a randomizer. Jay in Japan is first up. So, oh my god,
Here, bro.
I'm slacking. Is this it? Oh, I bet. I completely forgot. All right.
Hello?
Jan, can you hear us?
I can hear.
How's it going, man? Thank you so much for all the gifts, man.
Yeah,
Thank
they were
you.
so
Thank you.
good.
Yeah, no worries. I'm glad the W2 form ended so well. Had a really good react. I've already watched that clip like 3 or 4 times. It makes my day, so.
Bro, that was so
I'll be waiting for my tax return though. Let me know when that comes.
Bro, it was so funny because I didn't realize originally like why he would send a W2, and then I was like, oh, oh man. But yo, I actually use the Yami Yami Nightlight like every day since I've had it. It's dope. Just cause like it sets the mood, yo. Loki.
I feel like if I said I used the violet
Nah, that's
figurine, that
crazy.
would sound crazy. So I can't say that.
Have you put it somewhere?
I've mounted her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've definitely mounted it.
Hey, bro. How are you though, man? What time is it over there? If you're still in.
Yeah, I'll be in Japan for like the next couple of years. So
Okay.
it's at 9:30 in the morning right now.
Okay.
Oh,
Tuesday.
good morning, bro.
Oh.
So I'm already in the future, but I guess I had a question for y'all today. Just curious, what's y'all's favorite anime that's not One Piece?
Ooh. I have a couple actually. Death Note's probably my top 1 anime of all time. I think, well, at least the first 25 episodes. If I couldn't go Death Note, I'd go Avatar: The Last Airbender. And if I couldn't go Avatar: The Last Airbender, I would go Hajime no Ippo. So those are my like main three. Maybe Rurouni Kenshin too, but yeah.
Mine definitely after One Piece, definitely One Punch Man. I love that. I found that so early on. That's my baby, pretty much, because I found it when there was no anime and like 3 chapters out. I found it that early. So and I still watch it to this day. And Hydro Ippo is a good one for me. There's other ones that are not really animes out there, like a lot of mangas I just read, but also I like Solo Leveling, but I don't know if I would say favorite yet though.
Yeah.
But hands down I can say One Punch Man and Hydro no Ippo. I'm trying to think of other animes that's what I can think of for now.
I feel like I always point to the ones that I go to, but I'm gonna go to a different one. I really loved the Big O.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not much of a mech guy, but
That's why you shocked me when you said that. Just now.
Yeah, but I really like the Big O because it was like a Japanese Batman with extreme mystery and a hidden world from before the world that's currently in their timeline. And then the ending was just such a mind-blowing experience. And then just learning what you learned, and it just felt like a complete ride. It was really, really fun. I really enjoyed the Big O. And I love the art style. I love the music and the jazz. It was just like, I feel like sometimes anytime jazz is in something really special, it just makes everything better, even though I'm not like a huge jazz fan. So I really appreciated the Big O. It opened up a lot of interesting doors for me in my enjoyment of entertainment, especially with anime. And I feel like I would love for it to be reanimated, like a remake, but I would want them to keep the same dark feeling and tones and Dorothy expressions, and it was just so good in so many ways.
I never watched the Big O because I felt it was just Japanese Batman, and I was like, I'm not a huge Batman guy. So I'm gonna probably check it out.
So there's I wouldn't, nothing compares to One Piece, right, in terms of lore, but there are certain animes that reach like 26 episodes that you watch and then you find out, oh my god, there's an insane amount of lore. It's just not expanded upon as much as like One Piece is. And you find that in the Big O, and it's scary in a lot of ways that if they did expand upon it, it would have definitely, been a longer anime. But I felt like the short feeling of it made it just so much more like intense. So if you could get past some of like, there are repetitive battles throughout it, but the lore behind it is crazy, dog.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
It's nice. I like it.
Lionel?
Sorry, I get passionate. It's the Big O.
Yeah, it's from the. I don't want to say it's the '90s. It might have been earlier than that.
No,
but
I think it's the 2000s actually.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was like during the Inuyasha era.
I've been thinking like there's a lot, but some of them gonna be old and some I think might be like Avatar is one of them. I should said.
Yeah. Same.
One Punch Man is one of them. Like I don't know if I have besides One Piece. It's hard because I know I have my like throwbacks like Yu Yu Hakusho and Dragon Ball. I could just rewatch again. Dragon Ball Z is like Dragon Ball. I always preferred Dragon Ball more than Dragon Ball Z. I like both, but I could tell I always like Dragon Ball more, and I guess because it was more martial arty than Dragon Ball Z was. Yu Yu Hakusho was always again I don't watch it anymore, but that was always always favorite. And I can't think of any new ones besides One Punch Man. I mean, if they made an anime, worse than Crows would be one of them.
Yeah, if we wanted some manga specifically, my list would be different. But but I can't think of anything besides those right now off the top of my head. Like Solo Leveling is too early for me, so I can't really say. I thought you were a big Kaiju number 8 guy.
I mean, that's just they only had one season.
Yeah.
I did like it a lot. It's too early to say. It's too early to say it's my favorite anime. But you only had one season. I don't even know if they're gonna even bring up another one. So I don't know.
They did pretty well. I'm sure they will. What about you? You in Japan? You get all the anime, man. What's up?
Actually, just side note, Kaiju number 8 season 2 is coming. It's already announced.
Nice. Yeah. Nice.
So, it's Kaiju number 8 was actually one of like my new gen top favorites, mainly because my dad and I grew up loving Godzilla and going to see all the films, so that's like got a really special place in my heart. But I guess like one of my top animes that I had to like go and read was The Promised Neverland. It's what got me into manga, and I am so sad that they put like 20 plus volumes all into one season and then put a PowerPoint to finish it for season 2.
Wow.
So I think overall, if you want to see The Promised Neverland, watch season 1 and then just read the rest, because the world building in that is just crazy, insane, super beautiful, and
I love season 1.
It ends in a way that I've wanted a manga to end that's not like happy. And I was so happy that they ended it So it's not like a shonen, oh, everyone's love and peace. It's like someone has to make a choice and no one knows how this choice needs to be made, but it's going to be made by the end of the series. And I was so happy that they actually followed through with it. So
Yeah,
I would say Promised Neverland's probably like my number one recommendation, but of recent years, maybe Frieren, just because it's just so goated, but it's not finished yet. So that's my one caveat.
I started Frieren.
I haven't started yet.
It's very slice of life. It's fun. It's
They're like
enjoyable.
elves, right?
Yeah.
I gotta watch Promised Neverland. I know what happens in like the first episode. Or
Yo,
whatever.
the first season is It's probably one of the best first seasons I've ever seen for an anime. And the music is amazing. The animation's amazing. The story beats, the drama, the intensity, the lore makes you want to know what the hell is going on behind the walls. There was the Promised Land, like just finding out the things that they find out and their kids and how great the protagonist is. It's fun, man.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it.
There's one anime I just started watching. I only watched like I think the first season. I think the second season just came out, right? And we talked about Worse Than Crows. It's more of that vibe, but I will say it's a little more weirder and on the emotional side. But it's called The Windbreaker.
Yeah, Sundays was telling me I gotta watch that.
I've never heard of it.
It's like a delinquent anime. I seen the first half of the first episode and was like,
yeah,
we'll see.
I liked
We'll
it.
see.
When I watched it, like, it's a little weird and emotional, like a little. But it's like Worse Than Crows, but in a different angle. But I enjoyed it when I watched it. I'm happy that season 2 just came out. Windbreaker.
Hey JN, good to talk to you, man.
Yeah, it was great to talk to you.
It's early over there for you, so.
I just want to give one little warning to anyone trying to send a PO box. Certain countries and a lot of them do not ship to PO boxes. You have to send it to an address. So I had to send that home and then send it to y'all.
Oh, wow. That's why it came like that. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So anybody I know Larry's Mr. Worldwide, so anybody watching that wants to send a package, make sure you have some kind of actual address to send home before you send to a PO box. Some countries allow it. It's just like sketchy to just drop off a package at a PO box and like there's just a bunch of laws around it. So depending on your country, check your laws.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Thank you. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah. No worries.
All right. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of your day,
Yeah.
bro.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, enjoy y'all's night. Deuces.
Jesus.
All right, who was next? Terrance.
Oh.
Why you mad at Terrance?
I didn't say anything. I didn't.
Terrance, what's up, bro?
My bad, Terrance. I didn't.
What's up? How y'all doing?
Chilling, bro.
Larry was begrudgingly accepting of you.
No, that's not true.
That's what happened.
No, that wasn't what I was doing.
Begrudgingly, huh?
T, talk to us,
You know,
man.
he just knows my takes be better than his. That's all. Man. So, a while back, I sent a super chat talking about
I swear to
I
God, you
wish
bring up Inuyasha
they-
again, bro.
I'm not. I said the super chat talking about I wish Luffy had learned a little bit more Rokushiki. I want to elaborate on that.
Okay.
I don't necessarily need him to have like this huge focus on Rokushiki per se. I just wish he would like learn it like almost like all the techniques to a basic point, and then like mix it in with his freestyle combat. You know, because one, I just like Rokushiki. I really do. I mean, maybe there are better martial arts on the show. Like maybe Fisher-McCry has a little bit more raw power, but you know, I think Rokushiki is the best. So I wish they would put more focus on Rokushiki just in general. But yeah, I think Luffy would be good with it, especially mixing it in with his freestyle combat. You know, like it's almost like Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do philosophy. You know, he's like, you know, Jeet Kune Do is not a style; it's a philosophy. If you limit yourself to a style, you get used to those limitations, to just knowing those things. Whereas if you just learn a freestyle, if you just learn a bunch of different techniques and just free yourself, free your mind, and just combat, you become a lot more adaptable. That's the whole thing about Jeet Kune Do. And Luffy, he trains, he has technique, but he doesn't have a style. And that's why I also think what King was talking about too, when he fought Zoro, and he's like, do you need a school or a style to learn to fight? No, he's like, no, I still train, I still have technique, but I have an adaptable freestyle. I learn different things. That's why I have a sword. That's why I do hand-to-hand combat, and then Zoro just is a swordsman.
No, yeah,
I think it's similar with Luffy. Yeah, Luffy, he learns different things. He's a very freestyle combat. So we'd like him to use Rokushiki to add to that, because Rokushiki's pretty sweet. What y'all think about that?
Be like water.
No, yeah, I agree. Honestly, I don't even want to limit it to just Luffy. I think almost anybody should be utilizing the Rokushiki techniques into how they fight. And honestly, this is going to be a little off topic, but Larry posted something the other day. I don't know if it was on your personal channel or on the top channel, but it was like hand-to-hand combat in animes. Like, it's always just going to be better than flashy fights. Like, I wish we got more of those well-choreographed fight scenes in One Piece where people are boxing in the pocket. Granted, the show's about hockey and people using devil fruits, but I would like to see more of that. We got to Naruto. I know I bash Naruto a lot, but we got people with crazy supernatural powers, but they still use taijutsu from time to time, and they have some of the best choreographed fights in those moments. So I would like for One Piece to start incorporating that, and you could use the Rokushiki techniques to elevate those hand-to-hand combat moments better. I think the best we got from that was during the Enies Lobby arc, and we kind of fell far away from that as the story progressed, which, I mean, it was bound to happen, but I just would like a return to form a little bit with that. So I know Lionel's really passionate about the Rokushiki stuff, so I'll open up to you if you have anything.
No, I always thought, when I saw Luffy do Zoro the first time, when he was getting his gear, when his gear second fighting Guabuchi, I thought that was going to open up to, all right, Luffy's going to add more to his repertoire and his fighting style, because again, it's so, like he was saying, it's so free. So, I thought he was going to add more to it. And also, I thought, to most people, I thought Sanji and Luffy definitely should have added more of the Rokushiki techniques in their fighting style. I did get disappointed when I didn't see it. Really, they just stick to one. Sanji just learned Geppo, and that's pretty much it. He didn't learn Tenkai. He didn't learn Rokogan, which I thought he was going to... Not Rokogan. The flying one.
Tempest. No, Ron. Oh, yeah, that's the English.
Tempest kick.
Yeah, the Tempest kick, and I thought he was going to do that with Daijambe, like a flame Tempest kick. I thought that was going to be dope.
He's just throwing flames at people?
That would have been hard,
yeah,
man.
He probably would have been able to beat Zoro then.
But
Can't cut flame.
I mean, it's funny because you mentioned Sanji, because Sanji, he doesn't necessarily need to learn shave because he's just naturally that fast. One thing I like about that super speed and anime, there's different ways they achieve it in different series. In some series it's just raw speed, and other series it's like a speed technique. Mm-hmm. Here in One Piece, you can basically achieve it through both. Right. Sanji and Katakuri and Kaido are just raw speed. They do that fast naturally. And then you got the Rokushiki users who use shave, and then I think his brother, I forgot what his name was, who uses stealth. Just imagine someone who uses almost both in a way. Like someone who has that raw speed, and then also amplifies it with a high speed technique. The level of speed they would have, that's almost open to Sanji because he has that raw speed. Imagine he also learned maybe stealth or Zoro on top of that. Probably almost rival the Glint fruit speed, just with just his raw that speed alone.
I would have liked Sanji to learn Flash Step from Bleach.
Oh, yeah, that was so dope.
Yo, that'd be tough.
I be hating on Bleach. That was so dope, bro.
Yo, just make it better, bro. With Sanji.
For the one who you said to use both with raw power and technique, I think that would be Garp, because Garp already says he uses Zoro one time, but I also think it's also his strength as well. that's why he's able to move so fast and bounce around even at old age, because I think he's using his raw power and speed with Zoro techniques as well.
And there's a precedent for Garp because he trains beyond just techniques. He trains the body.
Yeah.
So, I mean, fists, but like I'm sure he does sprint speed too.
Yeah.
But Terrance, I gotta get to some other calls, so I gotta drop you there. But have a good night, man.
Thank you, Terrance.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Y'all
you.
too.
calling.
Thank you for having me.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
All right, next up was Diamond Life. Diamond gonna rip me about the DDT. I know it, bro. Diamond, what up, bro?
What's up, Diamond?
Wait, you sick?
Diamond, we ain't waiting on you, gang.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we hear you.
How y'all doing?
Doing well.
Good.
man.
Doing right. You?
I'm doing good. I just wanted to I guess ask a question that I don't think anyone has brought up yet is how long do you guys think the giant pregnancy stage lasted? Because I was thinking that maybe the giants aren't so lucky giving birth, because as we know in real life, soon-to-be mothers go through labor for multiple hours. And I remember in an older vid recently, maybe the LBAF time thing is maybe 3 or 4 times slower. So instead of hours, what if it was days or even weeks while giving birth? And maybe that's why Loki's mother got sick, because it took that much out of her because she was giving birth. And Loki happened to be an ancient giant, probably as tall as King Harold or even taller. Maybe that's why it took too much out of her. And I just want to hear your guys' opinion on it.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about that either. I would say my math so far has been, if it's going to be 3 times for anything, it'll be 3 times for everything. So if it's 9 months, it's 3 times 9 months. As far as the actual length of a a pregnancy while you're giving birth, the birthing itself, I mean, that'll come down to whoever you are, right? I mean, there's going to be challenges at birth with any race. It didn't seem like Ida had any problems. Granted, Haruden is not as big as Loki. But even, what's her name? Estrid, she's a large woman. She's pretty big. So, I don't know. I don't know if the birthing process was detailed to be too strenuous on her. She was sweating. She was excited to see the baby.
She ran with the baby.
Yeah, she seemed like she was
shortly
good
after giving birth.
I was gonna say she seemed like she was good. She just kind of was traumatized.
She
from
ran
seeing
the
it.
40.
Yeah. So
she had the baby in her arm
and then immediately packed everything up, right? She wasn't. She felt ill after that. So I don't know. I would say I don't know that the birthing process is more difficult because their bodies are also built to handle it, but that could just be me being ignorant. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I would think the pregnancy itself is probably longer, but the birthing I don't know, because I don't know.
She got that thing on her, bro. I'm pretty sure she can handle that.
Interesting.
Yeah, it would be a weird. I don't say weird, but it'd be a development that Oda could incorporate into the story.
That's Elbaf Coochie, bro.
Okay.
Diamond, I gotta get another caller in, and then we gotta close out. So, but I appreciate you calling, man.
Yeah, thank you for calling.
No problem. Appreciate y'all taking the call. Have a good one.
You too, man. Diamond girl.
All right, our last caller of the day is gonna be SlumpedMF. Slumped, are you there?
What up, Slump?
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, man?
I'm good. Y'all doing all right?
Yeah, we're chilling, man.
Good, bro. You sound like you about to read me a book.
I just had a little theory real quick. I'll try to make it concise. About why Roger thought Laughtale was so funny.
Okay.
So the entire story of One Piece takes place in the present, but it's all about the past, right? There's not a whole lot of future aspects of One Piece, and when we do see the future come into play, it's usually the Toki no Mi, people moving forward into the future, but they're still from the past. So there's not the majority of the story takes place in the past, and we're figuring it out in the present, right? So I think that Laughtale might be an island that exists outside of time, in the sense that when you're on that island, time doesn't exist how it exists normally in the One Piece world. And so you may be able to see the past or the present and the future, and all these things kind of coincide on this island, kind of like a time dilation thing. And so I think, bare bones, I think the Roger Pirates get there, realize they're too early, and then they find it hilarious because how can you be too early to a place where time doesn't exist?
It's funny because that was going to be my pushback. That was going to be. So you're saying Roger would then be able to see how it all plays out, like he's seeing Luffy win, like he sees it?
Yeah, he might see that, or he sees the past and what everyone was really waiting for, and realizing that that's not them, and realizing that it will happen in the future. Yeah, but I think bare minimum, I think he definitely can see the past and all of that play out, because Rayleigh even said we know the entire history of the world.
Yeah, I would say I would lean more into the past, because I don't see Roger laughing at Ace getting clipped and his kid not being the one. I don't see that. But if you can see the past, or I kind of like the idea of the island living in a space devoid of time, just to add to the mystique of it. I'm not a huge time travel person as far as a plot device, so I'd get sticky with that. We're kind of already immersed in that kind of a plot line with Toki, so we'll see. I don't know. I kind of like it. I just don't. I don't like seeing the future. I would have liked for Roger to see Luffy, but that would spit in the face of almost everything that he's seemingly worked for. Yeah. Unless he was like, nah, it's gonna be my kid, not that kid. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see Roger doing that either. Like I think he wanted it to take place regardless. He wanted it to be Ace though. So I don't know. I don't know what y'all got.
I would say I like that aspect of it too, but like again, going to what Roger said, or Sebastian saying that Roger said my son would do it. So like either Roger saw that information and just ignored it and said my son's gonna do it besides this random kid, but he would see the hat and everything, and I don't know, like if he would see his straw hat there or whatever. But like I also thought maybe like Joe put a certain date and time where this is gonna happen. Well, and then he realized he's too early. And also, I was gonna say something else I forgot besides Roger saying his son would do it. And also like also Roger knowing that he's too early. Like that for him to know that something had to be shown to him, either through writing. I didn't think of imagery. I thought of maybe the moral. Like Rafa has their own mural of the ending of the outcome of it, or Joey writ a certain date, or both. But like so the fact that Rogers knew that he's too early and said his son would do it kind of shows a vague scene of whether he knew or seen what was going to happen. The fact that he wanted his son to do it might include that he doesn't know who's going to fulfill it, but he knows it's going to happen, and he wanted his son to do it. That's something I don't know. It's interesting that it would have a time dilation, but I understand the past part. That actually makes more sense to me, kind of, especially with the whole history stuff. And like, for we know, the whole mural is the whole past they're showing, where they actually have like with the Den and Mushi doing a video of it. That's even crazier. That it's like the technology with the ancient doesn't do a mural of just still pictures. They actually show a video. The
mural comes to life.
Yeah, and it shows an actual action of what actually played, and we get to see it. That goes into a flashback. That's some crazy technology that'd be dope. But leading into the future, that's like that you would have to have you have to have abilities. You have to have the only things that come to mind. You have to have podium ability. But like you get what I'm saying. Like it would be too difficult to do. Yeah.
I just want to add something real quick because we only have like 2 minutes left. I want to add it also could be the why they were to tell something about the future, the timeline. Remember, Vegapunk's speech linked a lot to the flooding of the world. Mm-hmm. If they have the ancient civilization that was able to advance and tell this stuff, they would probably be able to tell something too, what Vegapunk was able to see. So they probably saw that the next flooding or where it would overtake would be this many years in the future. That's when it would rise.
Like the Mayan calendar tells you when the world will end and all that.
So I think the flooding of the world is going to take place at this time, and that's when like things are going to, I guess, the Emo and his group going to act or whatever. So I think it probably linked towards that, and that's what led to it. Being able to tell what was going to happen in the future, the flooding of the world.
All right, we got to drop it there. But thank you, Slumped, for calling up. I know you're the last call of the day, but we appreciate it. That was a dope
Thank
theory.
you, Slump. Yeah, it's
Thank
interesting.
you.
Have a good night.
Thank you guys. You have a good day.
You too. You too.
All right, that's it for calls, y'all. We do have a couple more super chats we got to read before we get out of here. We got 5 from Yami no Ho. It says, everyone from Sword would be a great candidate like Tashigi and hilarious. Also, do y'all think mythical Zoans have hybrid forms? I feel like we missed the first part of that chat. I don't know. Candidates for what?
Is he talking about the whole revolutionary thing?
Maybe. And y'all think mythical zones have hybrid forms? I hope so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another 2 from Meeks. It says, have you guys seen Gurren Lagann? I think Larry has.
No. I
Oh,
haven't.
no? Okay.
Mm-mm.
I haven't either.
I think that's the chick with the jean shorts, purple hair.
Oh, yeah.
She
I've
shoots
seen
guns.
I've seen clips. But no. Oh.
Oh.
Then what's Gurren Lagann?
Oh, Gurren Lagann is the one with the spinning drills,
Yeah,
and they
Gurren
turn
Lagann is
into
another
like
mech
robots.
anime.
Yeah, it's a
Oh.
mech anime. He gets like crazy overpowered.
Only mech animes I've seen are G Gundam and Attack on Titan. Another 10 from Dr. Bicho Black Loose. What? What's up, Nakama? First super chat. Do you guys think the non-hockey users in the Straw Hats will be using hockey by the end of One Piece? If so, then which hockey would each individual be utilizing? Oh man, that's a lot for the last super chat. I'll let y'all answer, bro.
I think Nami observation.
Usopp observation. Frankie armament.
Armament.
Nami.
Robin armament. I think,
Robin
too.
armament. Brooke armament
I say both.
and observation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They ain't getting hockey, man.
Yeah.
They just not. They gonna have their own unique fighting styles that let them succeed. But that's it for the super chats. Thank you guys for your patience and thank you guys for donating so much. I like the stream as always, and I'll pass to Larry to close out.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us today on episode 211. If you haven't already liked the video yet, please like the video. If you're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, if you haven't given us 5 stars yet, please do so. We will be here next week at 6 p.m. There will be a new chapter releasing, so this Sunday, officially by Viz. And I can't wait. I want to know what happens next chapter. I want to know more about Harold's past and about Loki and this situation. So, guys, stick with us. We'll be here next week. We love you. My name is Larry.
Lawrence.
Lionel.
Seb.
Teach you this lesson, old man.
And this is Top Podcast. Jana.